What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 2WR open black lens bracket 23 close black lens bracket Tsunade's doubts and Yagyu Tsuki's goal. You old woman actually know me. As an old woman, you are quite fashionable. Lu Shunyue walked in front of Tsunade and stroked Tsunade's round legs. Tsunade's face darkened and the corners of his mouth twitched slightly. Old woman. The dead white-haired guy was actually touching my legs. What on earth was he planning to do? Interrogation. The curves are perfect, the muscles are even, and the skin is delicate and smooth. I can play with these beautiful legs that have been trained to the right place for a year. They are really tempting. Lu Shunyue tore off Tsunade's pants and looked at the large area of white skin exposed by Tsunade. A trace of admiration flashed in his eyes, and a bad smile appeared at the corners of his mouth. Tsunade bit her lips lightly, her cute and delicate face flushed. She glared at Yagyu Tsuki with shame and anger, and said sarcastically, the dignified ninja god of the new era would actually do such a despicable thing as a sneak attack. The god of ninja was the name of Hashirama's grandfather when he was alive, but the 5 major countries actually used it to call the dead white-haired boy, calling the shameless and despicable man the god of ninja, which is more or less a bit funny. Yagyu Tsuki is a ninja in the village. Why did he suddenly attack me? Yagyu Tsuki and I have no grudges, never had any disputes, and even today was the first time we met. Sleep with me? How is it possible? With Yagyu Tsuki's strength and appearance, it is too easy to find a woman. Could it be the secret of the first generation? Yagyu Tsuki has the same blood limit as his great-grandfather, so he hopes to gain further power and wants to torture some secrets from me, Hashirama's granddaughter? Tsunade said coldly, idiot, you've got the wrong guy. I don't have any secrets of the first generation. Damn it. If Lu Shunyue hadn't taken advantage of someone's misfortune, how could he have been tied up by vines? You seem to have done something wrong. Anyway, add some fun. Lu Shunyue tore Tsunade's clothes, took out a pair of special black stockings that were transparent, and put the black stockings on Tsunade's round legs. Lu Shunyue touched his chin and looked at Tsunade, nodding with satisfaction. Well, perfect. Skin is white, milk abalone is light pink, and beautiful legs in black stockings reveal white skin. Perfect. Very good. You. Even with Tsunade's heroic character, he was glaring at Lu Shunyue with shame and anger at this time, but he was blocked by vines before he finished speaking. What the hell is the damn white-haired guy doing? Sleeping with me? Is this guy really going to play it? Tsunade was getting mad now. She had been in a relationship before, but no one had ever seen her body, and there hadn't even been too much contact. But now, she was actually seen naked by a stranger, Yagyu Tsuki, who had never had any contact with her before, and even put on strange and embarrassing socks for her. Is she sick? Tsunade's mouth was blocked by vines, so she couldn't open her mouth to insult Yagyu Tsuki. No matter what she said, she could only make a sound of Now she could only glare at Yagyu Tsuki with a murderous cold gaze. If gazes could kill, Yagyu Tsuki would die countless times. Yagyu Tsuki gently stroked Tsunade's cheek and said in a very lewd tone in Tsunade's ear, let's work hard together. I don't plan to let you fall asleep easily tonight. The fierce battle began. Tsunade blushed and glared at Yagyu Tsuki. She wanted to die now. She drank and slept well, and then was attacked by the white-haired guy for no reason, and then was attacked by the white-haired guy for no reason. No wonder she won money today. Hiss, it hurts. Yagyu Tsuki, I will kill you. Time passed slowly, and soon it would be 3 hours. Yagyu Tsuki took a long breath, tidied up her messy clothes, covered Tsunade's delicate body with her feather robe, and said, are you a pervert? You will catch a cold if you sleep with your butt naked. Very cool. Very cool. If I had to describe it, it was like being sucked by a vacuum cleaner. Ding. Complete the challenge, get the power of 100 heroes. The system said, 3 hours have passed, start teleporting back to the city. Since you've worked so hard, I'll reward you with a piece of candy. Lu Shunyue took out a piece of candy and threw it into Tsunade's giant room. A piece of candy after the battle, it's better than living a god. The old woman can suck more than the young. Let's have fun together next time, bye. Lu Shunyue disappeared out of thin air and was forced to be teleported back to the village by the rules of the Secret Realm Challenge. Although Tsunade is very old, he looks about 20 years old, and he will always look about 20 years old. Lu Shunyue. After the vines disappeared, Tsunade fell to the ground, tore Lu Shunyue's feather clothes violently, and hit the ground with his white fists to vent his anger. Boom. Tsunade punched a huge hole in the ground, and rocks and dust rolled violently. Yagyu Tsuki, right? Very good, very good. Don't let me find you, I'll tear you apart if I find you. Tsunade's cute and delicate face was terribly gloomy, and her amber eyes revealed cold murderous intent. This was the first time she had such murderous intent since she was a child. She really wanted to kill Yagyu Tsuki. She swore now, she must kill Yagyu Tsuki no matter what. Damn white hair, dare. Tsunade bit her lips hard, her face flushed and then blue. Well. Kato Shizune slowly opened his eyes. In an instant, Tsunade put on his clothes. Tsunade-sama. After a moment of confusion, Kato Shizune hurriedly got up and looked for Tsunade's figure. After seeing Tsunade's unharmed state, he secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Tsunade-sama. What happened? Kato Shizune looked at the destroyed hotel and the huge pit on the ground, and felt a sense of self-blame in his heart. The hotel was destroyed, and there were many pits on the ground. During the time I fell asleep, there must have been a fierce battle. Alas. It's all my fault for being too careless, so I was knocked unconscious by the enemy, and left Tsunade-sama alone to fight the enemy. If Tsunade's hemophobia attacks during this period, it will become a fatal weakness. What? Nothing happened. Tsunade lowered her head, and her long light golden hair covered her eyes, making it impossible to see her current expression. Where are the enemies? Kato Shizune glanced at the whole scene. Since Tsunade-sama was unharmed and the body of the white-haired man was not found, but the hotel was destroyed into a wasteland, it was enough to prove that a very fierce battle had taken place. So, where are the enemies? Did the white-haired man retreat? Tsunade gnashed his teeth and said coldly, dead. Kato Shizune looked at Tsunade's state, and asked in a daze, Tsunade-sama, do you know that white-haired man? Dead? There are no corpses of the white-haired man around, so the white-haired man should have retreated, right? But Tsunade-sama's state is so strange. Tsunade said coldly and proudly, idiot, how could I know that kind of trash? Knowing Yagyu Tsuki, go to hell soon. Kato Shizune scratched his cheek and looked at Tsunade with a strange expression. Tsunade-sama seems to be very angry now. Tsunade forced himself to suppress the murderous intent in his heart, stood up and patted the dust on his clothes, restored his usual generous attitude, forced a smile and said, Shizune, let's find a place to drink more. Ninja in the village, right? Yagyu Tsuki, you wait for me. I will kill you. Open black lens bracket 24 close black lens bracket unmarked ninjutsu, bloodline limit. The sun is blazing and the sky is clear. The 7th training ground. Teacher Yagyu is not late today. All the members of Class 7 looked at Yagyu Tsuki who was lazily leaning on the sofa and eating snacks in front of him. Oh my god. Teacher Yagyu is not late today, and he arrived at the 7th training ground before Class 7? It's outrageous. Huh. Yagyu Tsuki yawned lazily. He challenged Tsunade in the early morning last night, and then fought happily with Tsunade for 3 hours. When he returned to the village, it was already completely bright, so he moved the sofa to the 7th training ground to sleep. Yagyu Tsuki sighed. Alas, I worked so hard for so long last night, and today I have to train the brat. It's so troublesome. Everyone in Class 7 was speechless. This should be a complaint in his heart, but Teacher Yagyu actually said it in front of us. I'm a good man who will do things for money. You can rest assured. I will guide you to become stronger. Before you officially start training, you can ask me questions. Lu Shengyue crossed his hands and looked at the people in Team 7 indifferently. Don't ask too many questions, it's troublesome. Teacher Lu Sheng, I have a question to ask you. Haruno Sakura looked curious and recalled the test of Team 7 yesterday. Lu Shengyue said casually, tell me, if you ask about your girlfriend, I'm still single, but you have to queue up if you want to pursue me. Although he does whatever he wants and has a bad personality, there are many female ninjas who want to pursue him, and even some daimyo will take the initiative to come to him to get engaged. Because he is currently the strongest in the entire ninja world and has the strongest blood limit. Who is chasing you? Haruno Sakura complained, and then asked curiously, when you tested us yesterday, you used a ninjutsu that can control wood, right? But I remember you didn't make a seal at that time, why can you use ninjutsu without a seal? Haruno Sakura clearly remembered that at that time, Uzumaki Naruto used Shadow Clone to besiege Teacher Yagyu, and then Teacher Yagyu tapped the ground with his finger to launch a powerful tree root to solve Naruto. She had heard from the teacher in the ninja school that all ninjutsu needed to be used through seals and then condensed chakra. But Teacher Yagyu obviously didn't make a seal, why could he still use powerful ninjutsu? Curious. Haruno Sakura was very curious. Well, you asked a good question, you were talking about this move, right? Yagyu tapped the ground with his fingertips, and the chakra containing life force flowed into the ground. The ground shook violently and cracks appeared. Countless light green seedlings broke out of the ground, and after absorbing chakra, they instantly turned into sharp giant vines. Lu Shengyue flicked his finger, and all the vines rose up from the ground like pythons, crashing into a small rock mountain in the distance, and then directly smashed the rock mountain into pieces. So powerful. All the members of Team 7 were shocked, looking at the small rock mountain destroyed by the vines in the distance in disbelief. Lu Sheng teacher can easily destroy an entire rock mountain with just a flick of his finger. If this attacks a person, it's scary to think about it. Moreover, Lu Sheng teacher really doesn't have a seal. You can control it at will, and you can also change the shape. Lu Shengyue flicked his finger, and all the vines entangled together, turning into a huge sharp spear, and then the spear smashed a huge crack on the ground. Then all the vines dispersed, and entangled together again, turning into a villa that looked very impressive. Lu Shengyue chuckled lightly, although it's just a normal attack, it's no different from you throwing kunai casually, but it's still a very convenient move. He didn't brag, this was just his normal attack. As long as chakra is injected into the ground, the vines that absorb chakra can be controlled at will. Of course, ordinary attacks of this degree are meaningless in the eyes of real cage-level masters. It's just for convenience. The vines that entangled Tsunade last night were vines strengthened by natural energy. It can be said that using natural chakra is also part of the wood-style bloodline limit. Controlling the roots of the sacred tree through natural energy, the roots of the sacred tree have the ability to absorb chakra. This is the real power of wood style. Like Yamato's wood style, it's better not to mention it. After a moment of confusion, Naruto Uzumaki looked at Yagyu Tsuki with his starry eyes and said expectantly, So cool, such a powerful move. Yagyu teacher, please teach me this move. You can manipulate the vines at will and change the shape at will. Yagyu teacher's move is too cool. Yagyu Tsuki raised his chin slightly, put on a proud attitude, and said, very cool, right? Very cool. Naruto Uzumaki glanced at Sasuke. He has already imagined the scene in his head. When Sasuke and little Sakura encounter a crisis in the future, Sasuke will be beaten to his knees and beg for mercy by the enemy, and then he will appear in Haki, and control countless vines with a flick of his fingers, and defeat all the enemies. At that time, Sakura will also look at him like a fangirl, right? Uzumaki Naruto drooled from the corners of his mouth. He imagined the fantasy scene in his mind, covered his mouth and said with a smile, he. Sasuke was beaten to kneel down and admit his fault, and then I appeared in Haki, and Sakura-chan looked at me like a fangirl. So cool, it's cool just to think about it, idiot, you have already said what you thought in your heart. How could Sasuke kneel down and admit his fault? Haruno Sakura's face sank, appeared on his forehead, and he punched Uzumaki Naruto several times angrily. I looked at Naruto like a fangirl. I feel sick just thinking about it. Bang! Uzumaki Naruto was knocked to the ground. He climbed up and covered the red envelope on his head, looking at Haruno Sakura aggrievely. Sakura-chan. Uzumaki Naruto was just enjoying his fantasy and didn't realize that he had let the cat out of the bag. Uchiha Sasuke glanced at Naruto Uzumaki, put his hands in his pockets and said coldly, super idiot. I'm very sorry, Mr. Yagyu, please continue to explain. Haruno Sakura carried Naruto Uzumaki and hurriedly apologized to Yagyu Tsuki. Yagyu Tsuki looked at all the members of Team 7 and asked, do you want to learn? Yes. Haruno Sakura and Naruto nodded vigorously, only Uchiha Sasuke frowned and looked at the giant vines around him thoughtfully. Really? No, my ability is a bloodline limit, and it is also the only bloodline limit in the world at present. Yagyu Tsuki raised a finger, and a light blue chakra condensed at the fingertips. The chakra contained a strong vitality. If you want to use the move just now, you must at least have the same bloodline limit as me. In that case, what's the point of you performing that move just now? Haruno Sakura was speechless. Since they couldn't learn it, why did Mr. Yagyu perform it again? Is teacher Liu Sheng showing off his strength? Liu Shengyue said for granted, of course, because you want to play with handsomeness, it is fun to see your expectation and lonely expression. What is the tool for power to satisfy desire? Everyone has a speechless expression. Looking at Liu Shengyue's indifferent attitude, the more you look at it, the more you look at it. I like to pretend so much, especially Mr. Liu Sheng, who is a hippie smiley face, was installed again and again. He used to think that he could not install it than Sasuke, but he did not expect teacher Liu Sheng to be more pretend. Let me also pretend, idiot, I knew it was a bloodline limit from the beginning. Uchiha Sasuke snorted. He did think about bloodline limits at the beginning, so when Yagyu Tsuki asked Team 7 if they wanted to learn, he did not follow Naruto, the idiot, to join in. What is a bloodline limit? Uzumaki Naruto's head was full of question marks. Open black lens bracket 25 close black lens bracket I told you to use the great fireball, not the meteorite. Uchiha Sasuke's eyes condensed, and his eyes turned into Scarlet Two-Tomo Sharingan, and he said in a proud tone, bloodline limit is a natural power, and my eyes are also bloodline limits. What a bullshit. Uzumaki Naruto curled his lips. Yagyu Tsuki looked at Uchiha Sasuke indifferently, the Scarlet Two-Tomo Sharingan, and said, red eye disease is a very impressive bloodline limit, but how much can you see with these eyes? On the night of the extermination of the clan, he opened a Magatama in anger, and yesterday's test opened another Magatama. To be honest, it's quite funny, humph. Uchiha Sasuke snorted coldly. Yagyu Tsuki said, I told you yesterday that you were very slow in making hand seals. Uchiha Sasuke glanced at the vines in front of him and said coldly, the ninjutsu you use without hand seals should be the unique ability of the bloodline limit. Normally, all ninjutsu require hand seals. I will practice the hand seal speed myself. So handsome, worthy of being Sasuke. The fire style is also very powerful. Haruno Sakura looked at Sasuke with a crazy face, and then looked at Naruto with disdain, compared to. Naruto is a well-known tale, and even chakra can be used properly. Ugly girl. What do you know about me? Uchiha Sasuke's face turned cold and said in a deep voice, Great Fireball is Uchiha's unique fire style. How can an idiot like Naruto use it? Great Fireball. It was the first fire style he worked hard to learn in his childhood, and it was also the first fire style he proved to his father. But Haruno Sakura, a mere ugly girl, actually compared him with Uzumaki Naruto. What can Haruno Sakura understand about me, and what can he understand about Uzumaki Naruto? He hates Uzumaki Naruto, but he also understands Uzumaki Naruto. Because they have similar experiences. Ugly. Ugly girl. Haruno Sakura's smile was stiff, and anger gradually emerged in his eyes. His fair little hands slowly clenched into fists, wanting to punch Uchiha Sasuke away. When she was a child, she was said to have a wide forehead. At that time, she was very inferior every day, but since she met Yamanaka Ino gave her the courage to be confident. Since then, she thinks she is still very cute. But Sasuke actually said she was an ugly girl? What a joke. B***********D. Haruno Sakura looked at Sasuke's cold face, and finally put away his fist silently. Damn. So handsome, there is no way to do it. Uzumaki Naruto was furious, grabbed Sasuke's collar, and said angrily, how dare you say Sakura-chan is an ugly girl? Sakura-chan is so cute. Uzumaki Naruto said with a displeased look, besides, it's just a great fireball. I'm going to be a Hokage man, there's no need to use this useless fire style. Tisk. It's just a great fireball, what's so arrogant about it? Let go, idiot. Uchiha Sasuke put his hands in his pockets and looked at Uzumaki Naruto indifferently and proudly. Yagyu Tsuki looked at the noisy Team 7, raised his head to look at the blue sky, sipped the lollipop in his mouth, covered his eyes with his hands and sighed, "Ah, let me go, the stinky brats are really troublesome." Go to hell, annoying stinky brats. Yagyu Tsuki said calmly, I'll tell you some advanced knowledge that you can't get in the ninja school. Advanced knowledge? All the members of Team 7 were slightly startled, and Uzumaki Naruto immediately let go of Sasuke and looked at Yagyu Tsuki with expectation. Advanced knowledge that can't be touched in the ninja school? It should be very powerful, I'll tell you once, you listen carefully. Yagyu Tsuki raised a finger, and a light blue chakra condensed on the fingertips. Under his precise control, chakra wrapped around his finger like a little snake. Yagyu Tsuki said, all ninjutsu require hand seals, which is common knowledge that all wild dogs know, but why do we need hand seals to use ninjutsu? Ask me now. Why? Team 7 was very supportive. Yagyu Tsuki said, because hand seals can help users to condense chakra more conveniently to launch ninjutsu. If you can freely control chakra, you can easily simplify hand seals, and even use all ninjutsu with one hand seal. I just touched the ground with my finger, which is actually a hand seal. As long as you can use your own chakra at will, it doesn't matter what the hand seal is. Uchiha Sasuke immediately denied, how is it possible? Finger touching the ground is a hand seal. How is it possible? Except for Yagyu teacher who has used it, I have never seen anyone who can make hand seals so casually. Touching the ground with fingers can use ninjutsu. It should be a unique ability of bloodline limit. Even the top genius ninja, Uchiha Itachi, can't do it. Simplify the hand seal to such a casual level. You are so eager to deny something you haven't seen. Your eyes are even more useless than an old woman's. Lu Shungyue stood up and smiled confidently. I will show you once. I will charge for more performances. Although I rarely use low-level moves, I will use Great Fireball with great difficulty to teach you little brats. Open your eyes and watch carefully. This is how Great Fireball is used. Fire-style Great Fireball. Lu Shungyue raised two fingers and spit out a high-temperature flame at the small rock mountain next to him. After the flame flew out, it turned into a huge meteorite that looked like it was burning with flames. Ong. The meteorite like Great Fireball engulfed the rock mountain and burned the small rock mountain in an instant. The power of this Great Fireball is at least dozens of times that of Sasuke's Great Fireball. Whether it is power or size, it is an existence that Sasuke cannot match. Yagyu Tsuki clapped his hands and chuckled, that's about it. After all, it's a low-level trash move, not worthy of being used in a high-class Great Fireball. He didn't brag. If you change to any B-level fire style, the power is several times more than the Great Fireball just now. After all, the power of the move depends on the amount of chakra of the user. All the members of Team 7 were stunned, staring blankly at the place in the distance that was burned into a wasteland. Just now, such a large rock mountain was actually burned, and the blazing fire emitted a terrible high temperature like destruction. You actually only made one seal. Uchiha Sasuke retracted his gaze from a distance and looked at Yagyu Tsuki in disbelief with the scarlet double-grooved jade Sharingan. He had been staring at Yagyu Tsuki with the Sharingan from beginning to end. When Yagyu Tsuki used the Great Fireball, he really only made one seal, and it even felt that the seal was unnecessary. How is this possible? Unbelievable. Besides, is this really a Great Fireball? Uchiha Sasuke turned his head and looked at the area in the distance with a raging fire again. You told me that the meteorite-sized fireball just now was a sea-level fire-style Great Fireball? Who are you kidding? I have been learning Great Fireball since I was a child, how come it is not so powerful? And Yagyu-sensei only made one seal, and the power is dozens of times stronger than all the seals he made. The size is also dozens of times more. You use sea level as S level? The C-level fire style used by Yagyu-sensei is almost as powerful as S-level fire style. Is this the strength of Jōnin? There is such a big gap between me and Yagyu-sensei. What a joke. Open black lens bracket 26 close black lens bracket. Can the winner command the loser within one day? Wow. So awesome. Uzumaki Naruto and Haruno Sakura stared at the area burned by flames in the distance, and a sense of shock gradually rose in their hearts. How outrageous. Very outrageous. When Team 7 was in the ninja school before, they had seen some teachers use fire style to perform, but this was the first time they saw a fire style that could burn down an entire rock mountain in an instant. No wonder when testing Team 7, Teacher Yagyu didn't do anything. If Teacher Yagyu had used a random fire style at that time, he would have burned all the members of Team 7 to ashes. What's more, a fire style that can burn down an entire rock mountain in an instant, is this the power that a C-level fire style should have? If I remember correctly, Haruno Sakura's pretty face was flushed by the high temperature of the flames. Looking at the fire that was gradually extinguished in the distance, she swallowed a spit secretly and muttered to herself, Great Fireball is a C-level fire style, right? But the Great Fireball used by Yagyu-sensei is as powerful as the legendary S-level. Although she has never seen the legendary S-level fire style, the fire style Great Fireball used by Yagyu-sensei is far more powerful than the C-level. Damn. Although you are a pretentious guy, but you are really handsome. Uzumaki Naruto was very excited, gesticulating excitedly and said, if Sasuke's Great Fireball is a sesame seed, then Yagyu-sensei's is a meteorite. He did not deliberately belittle Sasuke, because that was the fact. If the Great Fireball used by Sasuke is compared to the size of a sesame seed, then Yagyu-sensei's Great Fireball is a meteorite with destructive power. There is a huge difference. Teacher Yagyu, can you teach me Great Fireball? I also want to use such a powerful fire style. Uzumaki Naruto pulled the corner of Yagyu Tsuki's clothes, his eyes full of excitement, looking at Yagyu Tsuki with expectation. If I can learn such a powerful fire style, when Sasuke is easily solved by the enemy in the future, and Sakura-chan is in a critical moment of danger, I will appear in a handsome posture and solve all enemies with a Great Fireball. Perfect. Oh my god, so cool, just thinking about it feels so good. Great Fireball is the lowest end fire style? Bullshit. Great Fireball smells so good. Everyone in the audience was speechless. Just now Uzumaki Naruto was still mocking that Great Fireball was the lowest end garbage fire style. But after seeing Teacher Yagyu use the powerful Great Fireball, his attitude changed 180 degrees. He immediately forgot what he said before, and licked his face and was eager to learn Great Fireball. Face. Take a look, what kind of face is Naruto having? Stinky brat. Even Yagyu was speechless. This nine-tails brat changed his attitude faster than a woman. He just said that Great Fireball was rubbish. This damn kid, pure brat personality. Yagyu teacher, I have a question. You and Sasuke both use Great Fireball. Since you use the same fire style, why is your power so much stronger than Sasuke's? Haruno Sakura asked curiously. Although she is a top student in the ninja school, she has never figured out the reason. Obviously they all use Great Fireball, why is there a huge gap? I don't understand. Good question, as the saying goes, big bears have no brains, no wonder you are so smart. Yagyu glanced at Naruto and Sasuke with disdain, and said, you are much smarter than these two idiots. The flat bear brat can grasp the key problem, but Naruto and Sasuke are two stinky brats. One is full of thoughts of learning cool moves to show off, and the other is that after being defeated by Great Fireball, he only thinks about gaining power immediately. Humph. Uchiha Sasuke snorted coldly. Tisk. Uzumaki Naruto curled his lips. Big bear is brainless. No wonder I'm quite smart. Haruno Sakura was slightly startled, thinking about what Yagyu said. After she reacted, her pretty face flushed, and she glared at Yagyu with shame and anger and said, I will grow up quickly in the future. Mr. Yagyu's words sounded like he was praising me, but in fact he was mocking me for having small breasts in disguise. How can you praise someone like this? If you want to praise it well. Really, I'll look forward to it. Yagyu stared at Haruno Sakura's very flat steel plate with a regretful look, and sighed secretly in his heart after looking at it for 2 or 3 seconds. Alas, sad, it's useless. Haruno Sakura gritted his teeth and glared at Yagyu Tsuki in shame and anger. I'll bear you once more, Yagyu Tsuki said, back to the point. No move has a fixed power. It all depends on the user's personal ability, or more precisely, the amount of chakra and the degree of use of chakra. After being able to accurately control chakra, you can simplify the seal into one. Of course, it's difficult to simplify the seal into one seal. There are very few ninjas living in the world who can do this. It's really difficult. Because this is a necessary skill above cage level, there are very few ninjas living in the world who can do this. But at present, the only person in the whole ninja world who can do it is Yagyu Tsuki. Making a random seal is considered a face-saving thing for you. The real strong ones can get whatever they want with a clap of their hands. Chakra control. Haruno Sakura was a little confused. When she was in the ninja school, she never touched the knowledge of chakra control. Today was the first time she heard the term chakra control. Uzumaki Naruto held his hands behind his head and said with a smile, "What? Although I didn't understand, anyway, Sasuke is weak." Uchiha Sasuke's face sank, and he looked at Naruto coldly with two Tomo Sharingan and said angrily, "What did you say?" "I said your fire style is weak." Uzumaki Naruto glared at Sasuke. He still remembered that Sasuke mocked the ugly little Sakura. Uchiha Sasuke's eyes flashed with anger, and he sneered and mocked, "You mean you were stronger than me? How dare you say that with a mere tail?" He knew that his fire style was far inferior to that of Yagyu-sensei, but it was okay for Yagyu-sensei to mock him for being weak. But what right did you, Uzumaki Naruto, have to say that I was weak? It was totally intolerable. Teacher Yagyu. Haruno Sakura was worried. She wanted Yagyu to stop Naruto and Sasuke. Yagyu looked at the aggressive Naruto and Sasuke, scratched his white hair in annoyance, and sighed silently, "Alas, spare me. Two dead kids, so troublesome." Yagyu clapped his hands and said with a faint smile, "Since you are so loving, let's compromise happily. For the time being, let's use the competitive mentality of the tool people to increase the speed of practice and speed up the points." Compromise? Team 7 was puzzled. Yagyu raised a finger and suggested, "All the content just explained is related to your practice. Let's have a competition. The one who completes the practice first is the winner. The winner can command the loser at will within one day." Vortex Naruto hit his palm with his fist, and a strong fighting spirit ignited in his heart. He said with passion, "Oh, Teacher Yagyu, let's do it. Order Sasuke at will within one day? It was so cool." Humph. Uchiha Sasuke put his hands in his pockets and glanced coldly at Uzumaki Naruto. His cold eyes seemed to tell Naruto to wait for death. Haruno Sakura gently pulled the corner of Yagyu Tsukishiro's clothes, put his hand to his mouth and whispered, "Teacher Yagyu, I asked you to stop them, not to add fuel to the fire. Why did you propose this kind of competition that deepens the conflict?" "Because it's interesting." Yagyu Tsukishiro smiled slightly. Naruto and Sasuke both have a competitive heart. Competition can effectively improve the speed of practice, because the little brats have never thought about losing to each other. Improving the speed of the tool man's practice can speed up the points, and speeding up the points can get better sign in rewards. Perfect. The students work hard and the teachers become stronger, although it's a bit contrary to the sky. But work hard, troublesome cash cows. Haruno Sakura sighed with his hand on his forehead. Teacher Yagyu is hopeless. Open black lens bracket 27 close black lens bracket chakra's nature transformation. Uzumaki Naruto pushed his forehead protector with his thumb, and said with a bright and confident smile, "Teacher Yagyu, let's start practicing. I will definitely master a fire style that is more powerful than Sasuke. Teacher Yagyu should teach us fire style, right? Once I master a powerful fire style, I can show off with Sasuke." "Wait, Sasuke. The winner of this game must be me, Uzumaki Naruto. Teacher Yagyu is going to teach us fire style." Haruno Sakura wondered. Uchiha Sasuke didn't say anything, but put his hands in his pockets and looked at Yagyu Tsuki expectantly. "Fire style. Very good. If I can master a stronger fire style, my strength will definitely improve a lot." No, your chakra is wind attribute, and learning fire style is useless." Yagyu Tsuki looked at Uzumaki Naruto calmly and said, "There is no need to stick to fire style. Only by learning what suits your attribute can you become stronger." Chakra attribute. Team 7 was confused. Except for Uchiha Sasuke who knew a little bit about it, it was the first time for Naruto and little Sakura to hear about chakra attribute. Uchiha Sasuke asked in confusion, "Yagyu Tsuki, what is your attribute?" When he was a child, he had taken a test in the Uchiha clan, and he had a chakra of fire and thunder attributes. It can be said that people with Uchiha bloodline are all ninjas with fire attributes, because fire style is the standard of the Uchiha clan. I taught you to respect the elderly and love the young, right? Or do you have a masochistic tendency and like to be severely whipped by the teacher? Yagyu Tsuki looked at Sasuke calmly, then slowly raised his hand to slap him. It's good to like to act like a loser, but you also have to be polite, right? I, Yagyu Tsuki, am a good ninja who respects the elderly and loves the young. Uchiha Sasuke saw Yagyu Tsuki raising his hand, and a trace of fear flashed in his eyes. He forced himself to suppress the anger in his heart, gritted his teeth and changed his words, "Yagyu teacher, please tell me, what attribute of ninja are you?" Attribute. How should I put it? I have, or should I say fusion? I am a ninja who has fused 7 chakra attributes and all nature transformations. Yagyu Tsuki smiled faintly, with a sense of confidence. Possessing all chakra attributes and fusion of all chakra attributes of nature transformation, these are completely two-dimensional concepts. The moment Yagyu Tsuki awakened the power of wood style and obtained sage body, he automatically possessed all chakra attributes of nature transformation. And after sleeping with Tsunade last night and obtaining the power of 100 healings, he even further improved the yang attribute of nature transformation. To be honest, it's so cool to cheat. The secret realm challenge is really great. If I sign in for a secret challenge in the future, Kagaya, then after sleeping with Kagaya, maybe I can directly possess all the power of the chakra ancestor. Of course, the premise is that there must be such a challenge. All attributes. So amazing. Haruno Sakura pinched his collar, with a light pink love in his eyes, and looked at Yagyu Tsuki with a crazy expression. All attributes should be amazing, right? Although Yagyu teacher is a scumbag, his personality is bad, but Yagyu teacher's face is very popular with girls, his figure is also very perfect, and his strength is also very strong. From another perspective, Yagyu teacher is simply a perfect boyfriend. Haruno Sakura glanced at Sasuke. But, Sasuke is also handsome. What to do? It's so hard to choose. Is it amazing to have all nature transformations? Uzumaki Naruto sat cross-legged on the ground, pinching his chin and frowning. He really couldn't understand what all attributes, what nature transformations with all attributes, and what nature transformations that combined all attributes were. It sounds like it's amazing, but I have no idea. Yagyu Tsuki said with a long tone, super amazing. It's troublesome to explain, but these contents will be used later, so I'll just explain it to the tools for now. Many Jōnin can't master more than 2 chakra nature transformations at the same time. Let's whip the 3rd generation first. The 3rd generation old dog is a ninja with all attributes of Grandmaster, but he can't integrate all nature transformations. Yagyu Tsuki said, it means that what the 3rd generation old dog can't do, I can do easily. It's easy to understand, right? What the 3rd generation grandpa can't do, Yagyu teacher can do easily. Uzumaki Naruto stared in disbelief. In his eyes, the 3rd Hokage is the strongest ninja in the village. Is Yagyu teacher more powerful than the 3rd generation grandpa? How is it possible? Hokage is the greatest and most powerful person in the village. Uchiha Sasuke asked coldly, is the 3rd Hokage powerful? He was complaining silently in his heart. Mr. Yagyu just taught me that people should respect the elderly and love the young and be polite. Then what? Then Mr. Yagyu called the 3rd Hokage an old dog. Is this what is called respecting the elderly and loving the young? Yagyu said, how should I put it? It should be considered super powerful. After all, the 3rd generation was called the strongest ninja when they were young. The 3rd generation old dog was indeed very strong when he was young. He was considered one of the strongest ninjas in the entire ninja world, and the strongest that ordinary ninjas could achieve. Of course, the 3rd generation old dog, so-called one of the strongest, or even the strongest, is only limited to ordinary ninjas without blood limit. After all, the old man Tsuchikage was still young at that time. But now, the 3rd generation old dog is exhausted, and his overall strength can barely reach the weak cage level. This old man is useless. Uchiha Sasuke hesitated for a moment, and asked directly, who is stronger, you or the 3rd Hokage? He wanted to use this opportunity to judge Itachi's strength. Yagyu Tsuki said that he could fight with Uchiha Itachi, so who is stronger, Yagyu Tsuki or the 3rd Hokage? Haruno Sakura bowed slightly and apologized in a well-behaved manner. I'm very sorry, Yagyu-sensei, Sasuke's question is very rude, you don't have to answer this question. The 3rd generation is the current Hokage in the village, and Yagyu Tsuki is the leader of Class 7. Asking Yagyu-sensei or the 3rd generation who is stronger in the village is a very rude question. But, the person asking the question is Sasuke, and it has nothing to do with me, Haruno Sakura. Yeah, Sasuke. Good question. Well done. Uzumaki Naruto glared at Sasuke and said angrily, Sasuke, your question is too much, 3rd generation grandpa is the greatest Hokage. He respected 3rd Hokage very much and thought that 3rd generation was the greatest Hokage, even the greatest ninja in the entire ninja world. His dream of becoming a Hokage was also influenced by 3rd Hokage. Please answer me. Uchiha Sasuke ignored Naruto and stared at Yagyu Tsukishiro eagerly. Yagyu Tsukishiro crossed his hands on his legs and said in a proud and confident tone, stupid question, the so-called strongest of the 3rd generation old dog is just a mortal born in an era without me. I will win no matter who the enemy is. Although he has never fought with the 3rd generation old dog, he will definitely win anyway. Because the 3rd generation, who is now almost dead, is only weak cage level at best, while he has super cage level power. There is no need to say a few moves, just a sage art through several thousand hands, and the 3rd generation old dog can be beaten into a pulp. Will you win? All the members of Team 7 were stunned and looked at Yagyu Tsuki in disbelief. They could see that Yagyu Tsuki was not joking, but was very serious when answering this question. That is the Hokage who stands above all the ninjas, and Yagyu teacher actually said with certainty that he would win in a battle with the 3rd Hokage. Oh my god, is it so outrageous? Haruno Sakura recalled Yagyu Tsuki's self-introduction, when Yagyu Tsuki said this. You are lucky to have me as your teacher. Closing square bracket. Haruno Sakura bit his lips lightly. Maybe our Team 7 has picked up a treasure, maybe Team 7 really got a big bargain. Yagyu Tsuki glanced at Sasuke. It is also worth mentioning that Uchiha Itachi can instantly kill the 3rd generation old dog. He could tell what Sasuke was thinking at a glance. After all, the idea of this stinky brat was too easy to understand. If the Uchiha beast exerted his full strength, he could indeed instantly kill the current 3rd generation. Open black lens bracket 28 close black lens bracket is spiritual practice about climbing trees. Uchiha Sasuke's face was terribly gloomy. He clenched his fist and hit the tree trunk hard. He gritted his teeth and said to himself coldly, Uchiha Itachi. Can Uchiha Itachi kill the third generation in an instant? He couldn't understand how strong Yagyu Tsuki was, but at least he knew that the third Hokage was very strong, and Uchiha Itachi could kill the third generation in an instant. No matter how difficult revenge is, I must complete it. If there is no revenge, what is the meaning of my life? Uzumaki Naruto held the back of his head, kicked the small stone at his feet away, and said with a pout, Tisk, the third generation grandpa is very powerful. Yagyu teacher said that he could beat the third generation grandpa, and then said that Uchiha Itachi could also beat the third generation grandpa. What? The third generation grandpa is the greatest Hokage. He really respects the third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen from the bottom of his heart. Yagyu Tsuki waved his hand and said in a casual tone, It's okay, you will understand the greatness of Yagyu teacher in the future. Alas. In terms of brainwashing Nine Tails, the third generation old dog is really good. He was not interested in continuing the boring topic. After all, it was important to let the tools start to practice hard and gain growth points. Let's stop chatting here and get back to the point. When you can flexibly control chakra, the power of all your moves will be greatly improved. The previous Great Fireball was like this. Yagyu Tsuki clapped his hands and pulled the thoughts of Team 7 back to practice. Uchiha Sasuke stared at Yagyu Tsuki with Sharingan and asked excitedly, after being able to flexibly control chakra, will the power of Great Fireball be the same as yours? It's hard to say, at least you will become stronger. Yagyu Tsuki raised his chin slightly, showing a feeling of contempt and ridicule, and said, You don't have to compare with someone as invincible as me. It's better to find a weak waist to compare with, such as Uchiha Beast. Uchiha Beast. After a moment of confusion, everyone in Team 7 realized that Yagyu Tsuki was talking about Uchiha Itachi. But yeah, Uzumaki Naruto and Haruno Sakura looked at Uchiha Sasuke with strange expressions. Although the beast was scolding Uchiha Itachi, it sounded strange. After all, Sasuke's last name was also Uchiha. Uchiha Sasuke didn't pay much attention to it, and asked excitedly, As long as I can control chakra, can I defeat that man? Yagyu Tsuki said, It's hard to say, but controlling chakra is the basis of everything, which will make it easier for you to gain power in the future. Enough. Uchiha Sasuke clenched his fist suddenly, with cold murderous intent in his eyes, and a sneer on his slightly raised mouth. Finally, after so many years, I can finally start to gain power. Although controlling chakra is only the cornerstone of becoming stronger, it is enough to make Uchiha Sasuke emotional, because he can finally see the hope of gaining the power of revenge. Sasuke, Haruno Sakura and Uzumaki Naruto both looked at Uchiha Sasuke with a little concern. Sasuke's current state made them feel unfamiliar. And you little brat, learning the basics of controlling chakra can take you one step closer to the dream of becoming a Hokage. Yagyu Tsuki glanced at Uzumaki Naruto. Oh, whether it's controlling chakra or anything else, I will work hard to become a Hokage for you to see. Uzumaki Naruto smiled brightly, raised a thumb and said, Don't worry, teacher Yagyu, I will definitely learn to control chakra. After all, how can I lose to Sasuke? Yagyu Tsuki touched Haruno Sakura's little head and said with a faint chuckle, Hirakuma kid, although you don't have any dreams, and you don't have the slightest ambition, you are just a follower, but if you are surpassed by Naruto, I will laugh and tell I am weak when I play Pochi. Haruno Sakura blushed. Teacher Yagyu is so annoying, what kind of words are you talking about? Are these words a child should listen to? But, Naruto surpassed him. Haruno Sakura gritted her teeth. It would be too embarrassing to be surpassed by Naruto. Little brats are troublesome, but they are still easy to fool. Yagyu took out a lollipop, unwrapped it and put it in her mouth, sipping it lightly, and looked at the state of the three members of Team 7 indifferently. After all, they are still a bunch of brats, and it is easy to be incited. Uchiha Sasuke adjusted his mentality, put his hands in his pockets and asked coldly, Teacher Yagyu, how to control chakra? It is more effective than theory and practice. The first thing you have to do is. Yagyu paused slightly. What should you do first? All members of Team 7 were silent, waiting for Yagyu's explanation. Yagyu walked to the tree, tapped the trunk with his hand, and said, Climb the tree. Climbing a tree. Everyone in Class 7 was dumbfounded, looking at Yagyu Tsuki with an expression that said, You are kidding me. Climbing a tree. What a joke. Yagyu-sensei is really a joker. Yagyu Tsuki repeated, Climbing a tree. Uzumaki Naruto asked, It's just climbing a tree. Yagyu Tsuki said affirmatively, It's just climbing a tree. Uzumaki Naruto widened his eyes, pointed at Yagyu Tsuki like a fox with its fur standing on end, and shouted angrily, I think you are just kidding us, there is no ninja who needs to climb a tree, I can easily climb to the top of a tree when I was 4 years old. Climbing a tree. Ninjas still need to climb a tree. Funny, I can climb to the top of a tree in one breath when I was 4 years old. Ah, you dead kid. Yagyu Tsuki sighed. Yagyu Tsuki looked at Uzumaki Naruto, who was fooling around indifferently, and said in a cold voice, Naruto, if you keep fooling around, I will strip you naked and hang you at the entrance of the village, so that everyone can admire your underdeveloped tadpole. Tadpole. Haruno Sakura's fair face flushed, and she secretly complained in her heart. B***************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************e Every day. Dead scumbag. Stinky rogue. Pervert who spanks girls. Uchiha Sasuke glanced at Naruto and sneered, shut up, tadpole. Uzumaki Naruto covered his mouth in a hurry after hearing the threat, and then glared at Uchiha Sasuke viciously. You can effectively control chakra by climbing trees. I will teach you a super powerful move later. Anyway, just watch carefully. Lu Shengyu put his hands in his pockets and walked on the surface of the tree roots with his feet. He walked to the top of the tree step by step. Amazing. Everyone in Class 7 looked at Lu Shengyu standing on the surface of the tree trunk with his feet in disbelief. Is this the so-called control of chakra? Yagyu Yu jumped to the ground, raised a finger and said, first, you need to do two things. 1. Feel the flow of chakra. Yagyu Yu raised the second finger and said, 2. Control the chakra to flow to the soles of your feet, just like the feeling when using fire style. The difference is that using fire style will make chakra flow to the throat, while climbing a tree will make chakra flow to the soles of your feet. Yagyu Yu said mysteriously, I'll give you 1 day. The winner who completes the training first will be given a special reward by the teacher. The winner can also order the loser to do anything within 1 day. Uzumaki Naruto asked expectantly, special reward. Is it that super powerful move? Who knows, maybe. Yagyu Yu waved his hand and turned to walk towards the sofa in the distance. Uzumaki Naruto punched his palm and said confidently, the super powerful moves belong to me, and you Sasuke, you arrogant guy, just wait for me to order you to make a fool of yourself. Wait until you can do it, idiot. Uchiha Sasuke turned and looked at the tree, slowly revealing a cold and dangerous smile. The winner commands the loser. Naruto, you idiot, just wait to die. And super powerful moves. I must be the first to complete the training and obtain the power that teacher Yagyu said. The power is at hand. Open black lens bracket 29 close black lens bracket Yagyu Tsuki. Tsunade is also a member of the harem. Uzumaki Naruto pinched his chin and fell into deep thought, thinking about what Yagyu Tsuki had just said. After a moment, he knocked his fist against his palm, with an expression of sudden enlightenment. Oh, let chakra flow to the soles of the feet, right? What? Such a simple thing is too easy to understand. Teacher Yagyu, watch my performance carefully. Uzumaki Naruto tightened his forehead protector, walked to the tree with a confident smile, and then closed his eyes and made seals with his hands, looking very much like that. Really? I'll look forward to it. Yagyu Tsuki leaned lazily on the sofa, hooked up the black eye mask covering his face with his fingers, and looked at Uzumaki Naruto in the distance. Could it be that Naruto? Haruno Sakura looked solemn, looking at Naruto who looked like he was standing in front of the tree. Could it be that Naruto has mastered the tree climbing skills? Could it be that the last one? Uchiha Sasuke frowned slightly, a trace of solemnity flashed in his eyes, and he stared at Uzumaki Naruto who was standing in front of the tree. Could it be that this last one has mastered the skills of climbing trees? What a joke. Just watch. Uzumaki Naruto suddenly opened his eyes, and a breeze blew up the dust under his feet. He raised his feet and stepped hard on the surface of the tree trunk, and then ran to the top of the tree with all his strength. Just ran 2 steps. Bang! Uzumaki Naruto fell on his back, smashing a large piece of dust on the ground. Ah! It hurts, it hurts. Uzumaki Naruto hugged the back of his head with severe pain, and he rolled on the ground with tears in his eyes, surging violently on the ground like a maggot. Quote. Everyone in the audience was speechless. Wind attribute chakra. Yagyu Tsukishiro glanced at the big tree in front of Naruto lightly, and there was a knife-like scratch on the surface of the trunk. Ninetales did condense chakra just now, but the chakra flowing to the soles of his feet was not ordinary chakra, but chakra with wind attributes. Although this dead kid is chattering, he is also a genius in disguise. Is this what is called miracles with great strength? But he just used too much strength. Ah, I knew you were an idiot. Haruno Sakura covered her eyes with her hand, and she had no eyes to look at Uzumaki Naruto. She just saw that Naruto was really like that, and she had the illusion that Naruto could climb a tree for a moment. Super idiot. Even Uchiha Sasuke was speechless. He just thought that Uzumaki Naruto had mastered the skill of climbing a tree for a moment. You can't climb a tree either, and you have the nerve to say that to me. Uzumaki Naruto climbed up, covered the back of his head that was in great pain, and glared at Sasuke unhappily. Damn it, I was clearly imitating the movements of Mr. Yagyu when climbing a tree, but why can't I stick to the trunk properly? How do I climb a tree? I said, don't compare me with you, I am the one who bears the name of Uchiha. Uchiha Sasuke walked to the tree with his hands in his pockets, slowly raised his foot and pressed it against the trunk of the tree. After 2 seconds, his face turned slightly red and he silently retracted his raised foot. How to do it, how to climb. If I continued to climb up just now, I would probably fall down like the idiot Uzumaki Naruto, and fall on my back in an embarrassing and ugly state. The corners of Yagyu Tsuki's mouth slightly raised, showing a sense of sarcasm, and said, strange, how can the great genius of our Uchiha clan quietly retract his feet? It's really strange. Uzumaki Naruto covered his stomach, pointed at Uchiha Sasuke, and laughed, ha ha ha, arrogant Sasuke, you can't do it either. You still have the nerve to talk like it's the truth. Shut up, it's so noisy. Uchiha Sasuke gritted his teeth, blushed and turned his head away in embarrassment, his hands in his pockets clenched into fists, and a surge of anger derived from embarrassment surged in his heart. Don't be so shy, everything has a first time, and it's also worth mentioning that the Uchiha beast can easily do it at the age of 3, which you can't do until now. Yagyu Tsuki glanced at Sasuke lightly and said in a sarcastic tone, do you understand what I want to say? To be honest, I still like to watch the self-righteous genius make a fool of himself. And, comparing Sasuke, who has a strong sense of self-esteem, with his enemies is the easiest way to stimulate Sasuke's desire to win. People with strong self-esteem are often the easiest to train. Damn it. Uchiha Sasuke's face darkened, and he felt anxious and hit the tree trunk hard with his fist. Uchiha Itachi can do it at the age of 3. Damn it. How to do it? Haruno Sakura ignored everyone, sat on the ground hugging his legs, lowered his head and stared at his white toes, thinking thoughtfully about what Yagyu Tsuki said. How to control the chakra to flow to the soles of the feet, and how to maintain the chakra at the soles of the feet. Teacher Yagyu said it was very similar to using fire style. When using fire style, the chakra flows to the throat, and when climbing a tree, the chakra flows to the soles of the feet. This technique should be applicable to all ninjutsu, right? Let's try it. Haruno Sakura stood up and patted the dust off her buttocks. The pain in her buttocks instantly spread throughout her body, causing a trace of shame and anger in her eyes. She cursed Yagyu Tsuki pervert in her heart. The spanking she received yesterday has not healed today. Huh. Haruno Sakura adjusted her mood, made seals with her fair little hands, closed her eyes and felt the flow of chakra. After a while, she raised her white and tender pink jade feet, gently pressed against the surface of the trunk of the tree, walked up several steps, and then landed steadily on the ground with a backflip. Suddenly, the faces of the people in the audience changed slightly, and they looked at Haruno Sakura in disbelief. Uzumaki Naruto exclaimed, Sakura. Sakura-chan is amazing. Sakura-chan can actually walk several steps, so amazing. Uchiha Sasuke looked ugly, gritted his teeth and whispered to himself, damn ugly girl, she can actually walk a few steps, does that mean I am worse than this guy? Smart kid. Lu Shengyu lazily lay down on the sofa, covering his eyes with a black eye mask. He was going to take a comfortable nap now, after all, he didn't sleep well last night because he fought with Tsunade for so long. Tsunade's sister Ju-Ru. Ju-Ru should be looking for me like crazy now, I feel that things will become very troublesome in the future. But I must take Tsunade into the harem, after all, that woman has a great face and figure. But it's a bit troublesome to take Tsunade, that woman now wants to peel my skin. Anyway, sleep first. Little brat, work hard. You must complete the training within 1 day. If you fail to meet my expectations, don't expect me to teach you super powerful moves. Trash are not qualified to become stronger. The weather is so good today. The teacher plans to take a nap. Don't bother me if you have nothing to do. After that, Yagyu Tsuki began to sleep seriously. Uzumaki Naruto pouted and looked at Yagyu Tsuki lying comfortably on the sofa. He said with an unhappy face, we are working hard here, but that guy is sleeping there. Idiot, say less. Do you want to be punished by Yagyu teacher? Uchiha Sasuke snorted and turned to a place far away from Team 7. He will concentrate on training from now on. What Uchiha Itachi can do, I must be able to do too. And, Haruno Sakura has already mastered the trick. How can I lose to a mere ugly girl? I must be the first to complete the training and get the super powerful moves that Yagyu teacher said. Open black lens bracket 30 close black lens bracket consulting advice, Haruno Sakura's jade feet. Time passed slowly, and a few hours later. He. Haruno Sakura sat on the ground with her legs hugged, humming a little tune and playing with a kunai. Her fair and delicate face was full of joy, looking at Naruto and Sasuke who were practicing hard in the distance. She can now climb 3/5 of the tree, while Naruto and Sasuke can only climb 1/5, so she is in a very good mood now, because it is the first time that she has surpassed the genius Sasuke head-on. As for surpassing Naruto is a matter of course. Although she can climb 3/5 now, she will feel powerless when climbing up, which means that she can't stabilize the chakra condensed on the soles of her feet for a long time. There is still a lot of chakra left, why do I feel powerless? Haruno Sakura puffed up her mouth slightly, recalling the feeling when climbing the tree. It's called a feeling of powerlessness, but it's more like the more you climb up, the more your feet hurt, and then you can't stabilize your chakra. Wait until Mr. Yagyu wakes up and ask him. Sakura. Uzumaki Naruto backflipped from the tree and landed, hesitantly glanced at Haruno Sakura, and the words he wanted to say stopped at his lips. Finally, he mustered up the courage to run to Haruno Sakura's side. Sakura-chan. What's wrong? Haruno Sakura glanced at Naruto. Sakura-chan. That's it. Ahaha, today's weather is so nice. Uzumaki Naruto stammered and couldn't say a word, scratching his head awkwardly with his hands and grinning foolishly. Haruno Sakura frowned slightly and said unhappily, if you have something to say, please say it quickly. I am also very busy. That's right, I want to ask you how to climb to such a high place as you. If there is any trick, please tell me. Uzumaki Naruto looked embarrassed. He had said before that he would surpass Sasuke and little Sakura and become the first person to complete the training in Team 7, and now he was asking little Sakura for the trick. Although it was embarrassing, I had to ask. Because if I continued like this, I would not be able to surpass Sasuke. If I fell behind Sasuke and became the loser, I would be ordered by Sasuke to do anything in one day. It was embarrassing to think about it. I can lose to little Sakura, but how can I lose to Sasuke? Only Sasuke. I must win. There is no trick. Do you want to listen to some suggestions? Haruno Sakura said, smiling secretly in his heart. Just now Naruto said so nicely, and in the end he still came to me to ask for the trick. But there is no way. Who made me the fastest progressor in Team 7? She is a little proud now. But what is the trick? If there is one, I would like to know. If you want to listen, just tell me secretly, don't let Sasuke hear it. Uzumaki Naruto glanced at Sasuke in the distance, then leaned his head towards Haruno Sakura. Boring. In the distance, Uchiha Sasuke put his hands in his pockets, looked at the big tree in front of him coldly, pretending to be completely indifferent, but actually secretly eavesdropping on the conversation between Naruto and little Sakura. Suggestions. Just listen reluctantly. What should I do? Haruno Sakura tapped his chin with his finger, tilted his head with a distressed expression, and deliberately kept the secret. He secretly glanced at Sasuke who was eavesdropping in the distance, and shouted with a smile, Sasuke, do you want to listen together? Uchiha Sasuke was caught eavesdropping, and a trace of embarrassment flashed in his eyes. He turned and walked towards the tree farther away, and said coldly without looking back, I'm not interested, don't bother me. Quote. Haruno Sakura's face froze. Are you kidding? B****************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** advice. Tisk, what a boast. Uzumaki Naruto pouted, then looked at Haruno Sakura expectantly, and said, Sakura-chan, let's not worry about Sasuke, just tell me your suggestions. Okay, the suggestions are. Haruno Sakura covered her mouth with her hand, deliberately speaking in a very low voice, and stole a few glances at Sasuke in the distance. She found that Sasuke was still eavesdropping there, but he probably didn't hear anything. Oh, Uzumaki Naruto nodded, and said suddenly, that's what happened. Uchiha Sasuke put his hands in his pockets, staring coldly at the scratches on the tree. On the surface, he was thinking about things seriously, but in fact, he pricked up his ears to eavesdrop on Haruno Sakura's suggestions. But unfortunately, not to mention the advice, not even a word was heard. Tisk. Uchiha Sasuke ignored him and began to practice climbing trees on his own. I am a genius of the Uchiha clan, there is no need to listen to the advice of the ugly girl. I understand, thank you Sakura-chan. After listening to the advice, Uzumaki Naruto turned around and trotted all the way to the big tree, and said confidently, look at me surpassing Sasuke in one breath. Uzumaki Naruto closed his eyes and made a seal, recalling Haruno Sakura's advice, adjusted his chakra, and suddenly opened his eyes, running quickly on the surface of the tree trunk, running 2/5 of the progress in one breath, and then took out a kunai and scratched the tree trunk. Sasuke, you are still far away, I will definitely win this game. Uzumaki Naruto fell to the ground and looked at Sasuke in the distance with a mocking look. Damn it! Uchiha Sasuke looked up and saw the scratches that Uzumaki Naruto had made on the tree, and his cold face gradually became gloomy and terrible. Damn it! Naruto, a mere tail ender, a mere super idiot, has completely surpassed me. And by a long distance. I am afraid that I will not be able to catch up with the long distance that Naruto has surpassed in a short time. Meaning, now I, Uchiha Sasuke, am the slowest person in Team 7. What a joke. I am an Avenger, how can I be surpassed by Naruto? Uchiha Sasuke has a strong self-esteem and cannot accept such a thing at all. Time passed slowly, and an hour later. Yagyu Tsuki lifted the eye mask, sat up and yawned lazily. I slept so comfortably. Although sleeping with a woman is very comfortable, sometimes it is good to sleep alone. Ding. Gained 15 growth points, and the current growth value is 55 points. When the system saw Yagyu Tsuki waking up, it immediately began to report the progress. 15 points. I'm a bit disappointed. Lu Shengyu grabbed his messy white hair and looked at the 7th team who were practicing in the distance. The progress of the tools in the 7th team was very slow. At present, only Haruno Sakura has almost completed the training. Most of the 15 points of growth should be attributed to Haruno Sakura. But now there are 55 points, which is still considerable. It should be able to advance and upgrade soon and get better sign in rewards. Haruno Sakura saw Lu Shengyu waking up, stole a glance at Naruto and Sasuke in the distance, and then trotted to Lu Shengyu, put his hands behind his back and asked politely, "Teacher Lu Sheng, please tell me the trick of climbing a tree." She wanted to sneak away. She wanted to be the first person in the 7th team to complete the training. Lu Shengyu dug his ear hole with his little finger and answered lazily and casually, "Are there any tricks?" "I think there are. I have never thought about such things. I was already the strongest ninja at the age of 4. He was already a super cage level strongman when he awakened at the age of 4, so he never considered the tricks of low-end training such as climbing trees." Is that so? Teacher Lu Sheng is very powerful. Haruno Sakura bit her silver teeth lightly. Looking at Lu Shengyu's indifferent attitude, she felt angry and wanted to beat Lu Shengyu severely. "So, I hate asking Lu Shengyu for advice. Lu Shengyu always takes it for granted that many things are simple with an indifferent attitude. So annoying. Teacher Lu Sheng, can you please help me take a look?" Haruno Sakura sat on the sofa, untied his shoes and put his feet on Lu Shengyu's legs. Looking at the snow-white and light pink jade feet in front of him, even Lu Shengyu was slightly startled. "Huh. The jade feet are quite cute." Yagyu Tsuki teased, "What do you mean? If you want to seduce me, you should stick your butt out, but there's no benefit in seducing me." "What the hell?" Haruno Sakura spread her small and delicate toes slightly, puffed her mouth in distress and said, "I'm about to climb to the top of the tree, but every time I get close to the top, I feel a sense of powerlessness as if my chakra has disappeared. And my feet hurt when I get close to the top of the tree. Is there something wrong with the way I use my chakra?" Open black lens bracket 31 close black lens bracket. Is Team 7 the only one that has not completed any missions so far? Really? It's just a blocked acupuncture point. Yagyu Tsuki took out a lollipop, unwrapped it, put it in her mouth and sipped it lightly. She glanced at Haruno Sakura's jade feet with disdain and said, "Can you take it away? It's really smelly." Hiraguma has very little chakra, and his body is not as resistant as Naruto's. If the chakra flows to one point for a long time, it will cause a very common acupuncture point blockage. "You are the one who stinks." Haruno Sakura blushed, hurriedly retracted her jade feet, hesitated for a moment, and then raised her feet to smell them lightly. "Stinky, eh? Fragrant. Yagyu teacher is so annoying." Haruno Sakura asked curiously, "What does acupoint blockage mean?" Yagyu said lightly, "It's a very common problem. You can recover after a good sleep. It's like you really want to fart, but no matter how hard you try, you can't fart. Then after a while, the fart will go out by itself. It's easy to understand, right?" "It's easy to understand, but I didn't fart." Haruno Sakura's fair face flushed. She stared at Yagyu with shame and anger, and said delicately, "Yagyu teacher, you are really annoying. You can obviously explain it in another way. Who really wants to fart? So annoying. I didn't fart. I'm a girl. How can a girl fart?" Yagyu said casually, "Don't say that. Even top beauties have a dirty side. It's common to secretly suck the straw of a boy you like." Common fart. Haruno Sakura was speechless. "I can't communicate with Yagyu teacher at all, but chakra blockage requires a good sleep to recover." Haruno Sakura glanced at Naruto and Sasuke who were practicing hard in the distance. If he slept for a while, he would be the slowest person in Team 7. Haruno Sakura gently pulled the corner of Yagyu Tsukishiro's clothes, gritted his teeth and said, "Teacher Yagyu, please help me, I want to complete the practice as soon as possible. Do you have a way to solve the problem of acupuncture point blockage? Being surpassed by Sasuke doesn't matter, but being surpassed by Naruto, it would be ridiculous to say it out. Since there is a concept of problem, there must be a solution." Yagyu Tsukishiro grabbed Haruno Sakura's jade feet and said lightly, "Bear it, it will hurt." "I will bear it again, it really stinks." Yagyu Tsukishiro's fingertips emitted light blue chakra, and then lightly tapped the acupuncture points on Haruno Sakura's feet. He had never learned medical skills before, because no matter how serious the injury was, he could heal himself instantly through natural energy. But since Tsunade gained the power of the 100 healings after the battle, he instantly possessed the strongest medical means in the entire ninja world. So solving the blockage of acupuncture points is easier than eating. It obviously has no taste at all. Haruno Sakura's rebuttal has not yet finished, and a heart-wrenching pain spreads from the sole of his foot, and this pain quickly spreads in the brain. Hiss, it hurts. Haruno Sakura took a breath of cold air, looking at Lu Shengyu with tears in the corners of her eyes. This burning pain is like a cramp, and it is a very serious cramp. Haruno Sakura bit her teeth hard, and the pain made her fair face turn red, and her expression gradually began to distort. This cramp really hurts. Does it hurt so much? Lu Shengyu gently scratched Haruno Sakura's sole with her fingers. Ha 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 ha. Haruno Sakura laughed while in pain, and suddenly pulled back her foot and stared at Lu Shengyu with tears in the corners of her eyes, and said angrily, "You are sick. So annoying. I was in so much pain, but teacher Yagyu was still in the mood to fool around. And, he was laughing while in pain, so embarrassing." Yagyu Tsuki couldn't help but laughed out loud, PFF'd. Yagyu Tsuki pointed his thumb at Sasuke and Naruto in the distance and said, "It's over, I don't have time to fool around with you, if you're a little slower, you'll be surpassed by them." It's obviously you who's fooling around. Haruno Sakura complained. Teacher Yagyu is so annoying. Wait, when I become stronger, the first person I will teach Teacher Yagyu a lesson is Teacher Yagyu. Teacher Yagyu must be taught a lesson, and then his character must be corrected. Everything you think is written on your face. Lu Shengyu touched his chin, stared at Haruno Sakura's face, and said, let me guess, you want to teach me a lesson. It's a very courageous dream. Haruno Sakura's mouth twitched slightly. It was embarrassing to be exposed in front of him, but he still said, when I become stronger, I will beat you and tell you how to respect girls. Well, very good, I will look forward to it, and work hard in this direction. Lu Shengyu nodded with satisfaction. If Pingshong Xiaogui can really beat me, then the overall strength of Team 7 will reach a very outrageous level, and then my sign in reward will be invincible. But it's a pity. Fantasy is fantasy after all. Hate it. Haruno Sakura glared at Yagyu Tsuki angrily, then turned around and paused when she was about to leave, turned around and faced Yagyu Tsuki, and said politely, thank you, Teacher Yagyu. After saying that, Haruno Sakura trotted all the way to the big tree. She could now clearly feel that the chakra in her legs flowed very smoothly, and she could control the chakra more easily than before. Teacher Yagyu was annoying, but she was very capable when she was serious. Since Team 7 is working so hard, I will also work a little harder and try to finish the subsequent plot. Yagyu Tsuki took out the Intimate Paradise and flipped through the erotic content in the book. As he read it, his eyebrows frowned slightly. The scumbag in the book of the lustful old man, the scumbag who plays with women at will, this white hair, this appearance, is exactly me. Am I so willful? Ding. Gained 10 growth points, and the current growth value is 65 points. Closing square bracket. Very good. Yagyu Tsuki glanced at Team 7 in the distance, who were working hard to practice. Just climbing a tree can quickly earn points. When the tools start learning to roll balls, the points will probably fly. Very good, a bright future. By the way, how long do you want to see it? Even if you wait for a long time, there is nothing you want to see, or you like that lecherous old man, a fan of my illegitimate fan. Lu Shengyu closed the book and glanced at the distance. He had just noticed that someone was secretly monitoring him. Swish, an Anbu ninja appeared in an instant and stood straight in front of Lu Shengyu. Sorry, Mr. Lu Sheng, I was afraid of disturbing you from reading, so I have been waiting for you to finish reading. The Anbu female ninja bent down slightly, her tone was cold and indifferent. She seemed to be apologizing, but in fact, her cold tone did not show any apology. Her apology was just a superficial statement. In fact, she was monitoring Lu Shengyu, or more accurately, monitoring what Lu Shengyu was doing with Team 7. She is the direct subordinate of the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. The third generation ordered her to monitor Yagyu Tsuki and see what Yagyu Tsuki is doing with Team 7. Because all the teams are on missions, only Team 7 has never done a mission. Yagyu Tsuki waved his hand and said lightly, monitoring is monitoring, there is no need to say superficial words. You are just a lackey of the third generation. I am not interested in making things difficult for you, a weakling. The third generation old dog will not live for a few days. Let him look at me a few more times before he dies. There is no need for me to take action. The third generation old dog will die in a while, because Orochimaru, the dead demon, is already undercurrent. By then, just eat snacks and watch the show, watching a dog-eat-dog game between master and apprentice. Hokage-sama asked me to pass it to you. The Anbu female ninja frowned and threw the scroll to Yagyu Tsuki. Yagyu Tsuki's words made her feel angry, but due to Yagyu Tsuki's strength and mission, she suppressed her anger. Lackey. Not interested in making things difficult for the weak. Yagyu Tsuki is really bold. The last words of the third generation. Yagyu Tsuki opened the scroll and looked at the contents indifferently. The contents were all the tasks that Team 7 had to do, including tasks of finding cats and dogs, tasks of helping others look after the house, and even tasks of coaxing babies. It's common for cats to run away from home when they are in heat. When this idiot is tired of being played with by wild cats, he will run back home and cry. Are you kidding me? A ninja is needed for this kind of thing. What do third generation old dogs think of ninjas? Yagyu Tsuki tore up the task scroll, raised his head and leaned lazily on the sofa, looking at the blue sky and white clouds above, and said with disgust, ah, it's so troublesome, it's inexplicable, the stinky old man is really troublesome. Quote. Anbu female ninja was speechless and sighed secretly in her heart. So I hate to monitor Yagyu Tsuki, because Yagyu Tsuki is too willful and reckless. Open black lens bracket 32 close black lens bracket childhood sweethearts are the strongest. Answer. Master, leading Team 7 to perform tasks can also effectively gain growth points. The pleasant voice of the system elf sounded in Lu Shengyu's mind. Lu Shengyu said in his heart, do you need to tell me? Of course I know. Do you know the system better than me? Leading Team 7 to perform tasks can indeed gain some growth points, and if the enemy encountered is stronger, Team 7 can also become stronger by fighting with the enemy, and can also increase the speed of practice by fighting with the enemy. He originally planned to do this, but the premise is to wait for Team 7 to complete the tree climbing practice, and then learn Rasengan while performing tasks. This way, you can gain growth points for performing tasks, and you can also speed up the speed of learning Rasengan through enemies. Kill two birds with one stone. Perfect. Master is so powerful. The system elf was speechless. Do I understand the system? I am the system. The master is really the opposite of Tiangong. Please pay attention, Mr. Lu Sheng. Always having an indifferent attitude may lead to the loss of something important. Mao Yushi Yan glanced at the torn task scroll and sighed secretly in her heart. Hokage-sama is the same. The whole village knows how willful Yagyu Tsuki is. He even asked Yagyu Tsuki to take Team 7 to look for cats and dogs. Hokage-sama should at least find a few B levels to deal with the missions that will encounter enemies. Alas, the missions of passing messages are often the hardest for us, the workers caught in the middle. You too, you should be more careful in the future. Yagyu Tsuki sat with his legs crossed, playing with a black leather wallet, opened the wallet and looked at the full money inside, with a slight smile on his face. Is Anbu so profitable? In case you spend it recklessly, I will help you save it reluctantly. Thank you so much. Azuki Yugao's face changed slightly, looking at the leather wallet in Yagyu Tsuki's hand, which was all her belongings in her pocket. This guy. When? What a fast speed. I didn't even notice that Yagyu Tsuki took my wallet. Yagyu Tsuki could actually take my wallet quietly. Is this guy's strength really as outrageous as the rumors say? Mao Yushi Yan raised her hand, gritted her teeth and said coldly, give me back the money. She worked hard to make money, and her only dream was to marry her current lover, that is, marrying Yu Guang Jifeng was her dream. So this money is very important. Money is for use, you use it, I use it. Cold women also have weaknesses, I hate women who make faces at me. Lu Shengyu took out the lollipop in her mouth, her hand trembled slightly, and the lollipop disappeared out of thin air, replaced by a pair of black lace pants. Make faces at me. Who spoils you? You. Mao Yushi Yan was stunned for a moment, and her legs fell to the ground, staring at Lu Shengyu with shame and anger through the mask. After her pants disappeared, they turned into a lollipop stuffed inside. Exchange out of thin air. What did Lu Shengyu do? And, is this how power is used? The way Lu Shengyu uses power is simply a gangster pervert. You're still wearing lace, you're quite a flirt, woman. Lu Shengyu lifted the mask of Azuki Yugao, looked at Yugao's cold and indifferent face, and then threw the black lace on Yugao's face. On the surface, she is cold and superior, and speaks like she eats gunpowder, but secretly she is wearing a contrast of taste, so people often have another side. Speaking of which, I am really an excellent man now. If someone had been so rude to me before, I would have slapped him a few times and he would have been seriously injured and hospitalized. At that time, Tsuchikage's granddaughter Kuretsuchi was there, putting on a stinky face and pretending to be a big shot, and she was beaten by herself and cried loudly, so Azuki Yugao was considered to have picked up the bargain. Alas, only I am in a good mood today. Are you curious about how I did it? It's not that difficult. Swapping objects is the same as substituting for a body. As long as you can. Lu Shengyu raised a finger and explained the move of swapping objects out of thin air, but before he finished explaining. Scum. Mao Yushi Yan glared at Lu Shengyu with tears in her eyes, put on the mask again and put the pants in her pocket. She didn't care about the wallet being robbed. She stood up and used the instant body to disappear out of thin air. She had to go back and deal with it because it was sticky with a lollipop. Lu Shengyu is really damned. Waste a candy for me. Lu Shengyu touched his pocket and found that the candy had been eaten. When he eats sweets, it can promote cell activation. This is also a very strange physique, so he has developed a good habit of eating sweets since he was a child. Yagyu Tsuki put his hands on his mouth and shouted like a loudspeaker, stinky brats, seeing how hard you work, the teacher will also go to the tavern to work hard. You must complete the training before dark, otherwise you can't learn super powerful moves. If you are hungry, you can just nibble on some grass. Anyway, don't bother me if you haven't completed the training. After that, Yagyu Tsuki disappeared out of thin air. Just nibble on some grass. All the members of Team 7 were speechless. Which teacher in the whole ninja world would say that students should nibble on some grass when they are hungry? We are working hard to practice here, and this guy went to drink with the big sister. Uzumaki Naruto gritted his teeth, and his eyes were burning with anger. What is this? Haruno Sakura walked to the sofa and looked at the cardboard box placed on the sofa. After hesitating for a moment, he opened the cardboard box and took a peek. He was slightly startled by the full box of snacks inside. Snacks. Did teacher Yagyu forget to take it away, or did he deliberately leave it for us in Team 7? Can it be eaten? It should be fine, I haven't eaten for a day. Persimmon cake. Uchiha Sasuke walked to the sofa and looked at the snacks in the carton. There were still a lot of persimmon cakes in it. He liked to eat persimmon cakes very much, but his favorite was sweet and sour tomatoes. Barbecue restaurant. Many Jōnin sat together to eat. Today was the monthly Jōnin gathering. Yagyu Tsuki supported his face with his hands, picked up a piece of barbecue and shook it gently, and said with a bored expression, isn't there any other store in the village? Why do you eat barbecue every day? He hates eating greasy food. Yagyu, don't play with food. Yuhi Hong rolled her eyes at Yagyu Tsuki, then picked up the meat that Yagyu Tsuki was playing with and put it on Yagyu Tsuki's plate. Alas, Yagyu Tsuki is still a playful person. It would be better if he could be more mature. Lu Shengyu took a big sip of wine and said with a faint smile, Sister Hong Hong, be careful of wrinkles if you do too much. Really? Who should I blame? Shi Raihong smiled and raised her fair little hand to pinch Lu Shengyu's waist without anyone noticing. Too much trouble. Lu Shengyu was so bold that she dared to dislike her sister for being too troublesome. There's no need to pinch me. Even I would cry out in pain. Touch your legs to fill my wounded heart. In this cold world, only your thighs can bring me a little warmth. Lu Shengyu sighed and touched Shi Raihong's beautiful legs. Sister Hong Hong's legs are still so great. The skin is delicate and smooth, and the legs are slender and full. It's really awesome. Why are you so many perverse ideas every day? Shi Raihong slapped Lu Shengyu's back of the hand hard, but she didn't particularly resist being touched by Lu Shengyu's legs. If someone else touched her so frivolously, she would turn against her and attack on the spot no matter who it was. But Yagyu Tsuki, if the child wants to touch her, let him touch her. Quote. All the Jōnin in the audience pretended not to see it. After all, they have been used to the little romance between Yagyu Tsuki and Yuhi Kurenai since the past. Many Jōnin in the audience stole a glance at Sarutobi Asuma. Almost all the ninjas in the village knew that Asuma was chasing Yuhi Kurenai. But it was definitely impossible. After all, Yagyu Tsuki and Yuhi Kurenai were childhood sweethearts and had a deep relationship since childhood. How could you, Sarutobi Asuma, a drop from the sky, win? How could a drop from the sky win over a childhood sweetheart? Open black lens bracket 33 close black lens bracket pure love is the way to go. Sorry, I'll smoke a cigarette. Sarutobi Asuma lit a cigarette, took a deep breath, felt the burning sensation of the smoke passing through his lungs, exhaled a pale smoke, looked at Yagyu Tsuki and Yuhi Kurenai who were fooling around, and sighed secretly in his heart. Do I still have a chance? Probably not. After all, Yagyu Tsuki has been touching Yuhi Kurenai since the beginning, and Yuhi Kurenai did not show strong resistance. What does this mean? It means Yuhi Kurenai cares about Yagyu Tsuki very much. The barbecue restaurant was reserved by Jōnin tonight, and those present were people who had known each other for a long time, so Sarutobi Asuma did not go out to smoke. Yagyu Tsuki saw Asuma's state, and he held a chopstick in his mouth and imitated smoking. After taking a breath, he said, hiss, the cigarette hurts my heart. He knew that Asuma had been pursuing Yuhi Kurenai recently, and after being rejected by Yuhi Kurenai again and again, Asuma did not give up and persisted. To put it nicely, it is infatuation, to put it bluntly, it is a dog licker. Still want to chase Sister Hong Hong? Go to hell, licking dogs is behind dogs. Maybe after a while, Sister Hong Hong will become my shape. Quote. Sarutobi Asuma's mouth twitched slightly, and Yagyu Tsuki imitated his smoking behavior, which was completely mocking him. Killing people also needs to destroy their hearts, right? Don't make trouble. Yuhi Kurenai rolled his eyes at Yagyu Tsuki. Sister Hong Hong. Ah, Yagyu Tsuki opened her mouth. Yuhi Kurenai was slightly startled, glanced at Asuma sitting opposite, and then looked at Yagyu Tsuki's behavior of opening her mouth to wait for food, and shook her head with amusement. Yagyu Tsuki was deliberately mocking Asuma, right? Childish ghost. But it's pretty cute. Just satisfy your childish behavior once. Be careful of the heat. Yuhi Kurenai picked up a piece of meat, gathered the hair on the side of her face behind her ears, blew gently on the hot barbecue with her red lips, and then put the meat into Yagyu Tsuki's mouth. Yagyu Tsuki is sometimes really cute. Although it is very annoying most of the time, and it has been annoying since childhood. Sister Hong Hong, can you be a little more considerate? Lu Shengyu pouted, obviously meaning to let Yuhi Kurenai wipe his mouth. Eat your meal well. Yuhi Kurenai picked up a handkerchief to wipe Lu Shengyu's mouth. Ouch. Still pretending. I'll deal with you when I get home. Ah, Sarutobi Asuma sighed, feeling Lu Shengyu's eyes like looking at a loser, and a bitter smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Hitaki Kakashi looked at the scene of Lu Shengyu and Yuhi Kurenai flirting with a pair of dead fish eyes, then patted Asuma's shoulder hard and said, give up. Lu Shengyu and Yuhi Kurenai are childhood sweethearts, and they have lived together since childhood. How can Asuma win over childhood sweethearts? And, when Kurenai Yuhi encountered troubles while doing a mission and was trapped in Cloud Shinobi Village in the Land of Lightning, Yagyu Tsuki came to her directly and used violence to make a scene in Cloud Shinobi Village. As for her feelings, what can you Asuma compare with? Might Guy raised a thumb, a gleam of light flashed through his white teeth, and he said with a hearty and passionate smile, this is youth. Quote. Sarutobi Asuma was speechless. Sister Hong Hong. Yagyu Tsuki supported her face with her hands and looked at Kurenai Yuhi lightly. What's wrong? Kurenai Yuhi tilted her little head and looked at Yagyu Tsuki in confusion. You are really a good woman. Yagyu Tsuki raised the corner of her mouth slightly and gently pinched Yuhi Tsuki's delicate face. Is this the first day you met me? Yagyu Tsuki opened Yagyu Tsuki's hand and said unhappily, "Don't pinch my face, you are disrespectful." Yagyu Tsuki is so annoying. She only knows how to offend her superiors every day. Lu Shengyu gently stroked Shi Ri Hong's face and deliberately used a very sexy tone to whisper in Shi Ri Hong's ear, "Come with me tonight, I will teach you a lot of things." Sister Hong Hong, what a virtuous woman. I can be the captain of the harem completely. I'll go with you. Yuhi Kurenai tapped her chin with her finger, pretending to be hesitant, and said after thinking for a moment, "Okay." Yuhi Kurenai winked playfully and said in a joking tone, "When you can stay away from those strange women, I can consider going with you." She knew that Yagyu Tsuki loved to play and there were many excellent female ninjas around her. She was a woman with traditional ideas, how could she accept the man she liked to have a harem? Pure love is the kingly way. Yagyu Tsuki said jokingly, "Don't say that, I'm also thinking about you, after all, I'm a very fierce man." Strange woman. Sorry, Sister Hong Hong. After a while, a strange woman with a huge P*** will come to the door, and it is very likely that she will even make a big fuss in the village. Yagyu Tsuki now clearly remembers the look in Tsunade's eyes when she left that night. That look was like saying I will kill you. Alas, so troublesome, Tsunade is so troublesome. You are happy and I am happy too. We are all happy. Is it necessary to be so violent? What do you mean? Yuhi Kurenai blinked blankly, not understanding what Yagyu Tsuki meant at all. Considering me, a very fierce man, what does this mean? Yagyu Tsuki covered her mouth with her hand and whispered in Yuhi Kurenai's ear, "It means rogue." Yuhi Kurenai's fair face flushed, and she pinched Yagyu Tsuki's waist hard. "Are you afraid that I will be tired, so you want to start a harem?" Yagyu Tsuki is really bold. Yuhi Kurenai stood up and looked at the Jōnin present and said, "I have something else to do. I have to prepare for the mission of Team 8 tomorrow." Yuhi Kurenai looked at Yagyu Tsuki and chuckled, "You eat slowly first, I'll go back first. Don't tease Hinata in the future. She is still a little girl." Yuhi Kurenai warned Yagyu Tsuki in her ear, and then turned around and left quickly. She really had something to do, because the mission of Team 8 tomorrow was very important. "Don't worry, I won't tease you." Yagyu Tsuki waved his hand. "Yagyu, I'm quite surprised that you can be the team leader." Sarutobi Asuma took a puff of cigarette and exhaled a pale smoke. After Kurenai left, he was finally able to interrupt. When Kurenai was here, he could only watch Yagyu Tsuki and Kurenai being affectionate. Sarutobi Asuma said, "I heard that your Team 7 didn't accept the mission. With your personality, you are not interested in accepting those missions, but refusing to accept missions will affect the growth of the Jōnins." He heard that Yagyu Tsuki was going to lead the Team 7 before, and he was very surprised after hearing it. With Yagyu Tsuki's willful personality, would he actually run over to take over the Team 7? Then I heard yesterday that since Yagyu Tsuki formed the Team 7, he has been refusing to accept missions, which gave the third Hokage a headache. To be honest, Asuma is a little worried about the future of the Team 7, because the number of completed missions and scores are linked to the subsequent Chunin exams. Now most of the new Jōnin teams have done many missions, for example, their 10th team has completed 4D level missions. Only the 7th team has not done any missions, which may be far behind the Jōnin of the same class. But think about it. With Yagyu Tsuki's personality and strength, how could she lead the team to take those D-level missions, because all D-level missions are part-time jobs? What about finding cats, finding dogs, and helping others to watch the store? But even these jobs are tasks, as long as they are tasks, they will be linked to the Jōnin score. Alas, the reason why Yagyu Tsuki became a teacher should be that it is fun, right? I can only say that it is difficult for the young Jōnin of the 7th team to have such a willful teacher like Yagyu Tsuki. 34. As Class 7 being lazy or undergoing special training. Yagyu Tsuki deliberately mentioned Yuhi Kurenai, with a faint smile hiding a hint of teasing, and said, "I didn't do anything worth paying attention to. I flirted with Sister Hong Hong every day, hugged Sister Hong Hong to drink, and ate the lunchbox made by Sister Hong Hong. That's all." He deliberately concealed the training of Team 7 in order to make Team 7 a big hit in the Chunin exam. On the day of the Chunin exam, all members of Team 7 will be able to rub out Rasengan. At that time, everyone will be very shocked, and at the same time, they will also admire that Yagyu Tsuki has a good teaching skill, and can even let Uzumaki Naruto, a last-place person, learn the Rasengan of the ultimate form change. There may also be people who say, "Wow, Yagyu Tsuki is so strong himself, but he has such an excellent teaching ability that he can let 3 little kids who have just become Jōnin learn the Super A-level Rasengan in a short time." Closing square bracket. Yagyu Tsuki is waiting for this day. Everyone's expressions will be very interesting then, right? Of course. In order to satisfy these pretentious things, all members of Class 7 must learn Rasengan thoroughly before the Chunin exam. The students work hard, I pretend. I am the one who is happy. Quote. Everyone in the audience sighed secretly. Yagyu Tsuki did not take Class 7 to do the mission. Did they just fool around the whole time? Alas, Class 7 has such a teacher, and their future is bleak. Yagyu Tsuki is very reliable as a teammate, but as a teacher, it is a bit difficult to evaluate. Ha ha ha. Sarutobi Asuma smiled stiffly, scratched his head and said awkwardly, really, that's pretty good. What nonsense am I talking about? Pretty good. What is pretty good? Yagyu Tsuki's words are just to deliberately anger me, right? I am actually smiling weakly. He has always regarded Yagyu Tsuki as a strong rival in love, although he unilaterally believes that Yagyu Tsuki is a strong rival in love. But Yagyu Tsuki didn't take it seriously at all. He hugged Yuhi Kurenai and drank at home every night. Even if Yuhi Kurenai resisted, it was useless because Yuhi Kurenai couldn't do anything to Yagyu Tsuki. And Sarutobi Asuma pursued her honestly. He insisted on giving Yuhi Kurenai a bouquet of flowers every day, and also gave her some delicious food brought back from the mission. But Yagyu Tsuki didn't care so much. He just hugged Yuhi Kurenai, and Yuhi Kurenai didn't show much resistance. Alas. Do women like scumbags? Don't honest people have love? Ding. Gained 20 growth points, and the current growth value is 85 points. Closing square bracket. All members of Team 7 completed the tree climbing training. Closing square bracket. Yagyu Tsuki thought to himself. These tool people are practicing very fast. Anyway, let's start teaching Rasengan as soon as possible. Just climbing a tree can get a lot of points. If all members of Team 7 master Rasengan, the points will probably fly. Moreover, after the 7th team mastered the Rasengan, they could help me show off during the Chunin exam. Students work hard, and I become stronger. Students work hard, and I show off. Now that I think about it, the system doesn't seem as broken as I imagined. Yagyu Tsuki stood up, patted Sarutobi Asuma on the shoulder, and accused him in an educational tone, the food you sent to Sister Honghong last time was terrible. Don't send such spicy things next time. I love sweets. He would spend money recklessly when he had money, so he would often be short of money. When he was short of money, he would go to the Hyuga clan or Yuhi Kurenai's house for free meals, so every time Asuma sent food, he would eat it up casually. Quote. Sarutobi Asuma's hand holding the cigarette trembled, and his mentality was a little broken by Yagyu Tsuki's words. The food he insisted on sending to Yuhi Kurenai was eaten up by Yagyu Tsuki. He even complained that it was unpalatable after eating it. What the hell are you eating? Is it what you should eat? Damn. Tian go yi shi yu ren quan de hao ba. Ta xian zai hen shong ba chu chakra dao. Zhen lu sheng yu da yi chong nan ren jian de wei zan. Dan shi ba. Ken ding wei bei zo de hen kan. Ji ran hong hong jia do zola. Wo mei xing ku pei ni men cho nan ren liao tian. Gai tian jian ba. Ji jai bang wo fu qian. Shuo wan. Lu sheng yu ji jia ping kong shao shi. Might gai da ko de kai jai kao ru. Shu chi yi gen dam yu ji han hu de shuo dao. Jai kai shi ching chuna. I. Chi fan ba. Sarutobi Asuma kia mie yan. Na chi kue zi da suan kai kao ru jia jia chi. Ran hu fa xian suo yu kao ru do bei might gai kai guang la. Te mi. Gei wo lu dian a gai jing ran by choji hainang kai. Sui ran di chi ban mei yu ji xing ren wu. Dan yi lu sheng I mian zi de xing zhe. Jenda wei fang ren di chi ban dai duo ma. Hitaki Kakashi mei mu wei wei yi zhou. Si yu yan li shan guo yi dao suo si ji sei. Zheng ge ren xian ru shan si ji zhang. Yagyu Tsuki is very arbitrary, but he is also a very face-conscious person. If Team 7 is lazy and weak, it will make Yagyu Tsuki embarrassed. So if Yagyu Tsuki didn't plan to manage Team 7, then there was no need to take over Team 7 in the first place. Since Yagyu Tsuki took over Team 7, why didn't he do any missions? Hitaki Kakashi pinched his chin and muttered thoughtfully, could it be that Yagyu gave Team 7 special training again? Very likely. What's the reason? Everyone in the audience was puzzled. Hitaki Kakashi said, my intuition. Special training. Sarutobi Asuma was slightly stunned, lit a cigarette and took a deep puff, and took a deep look at the place where Yagyu Tsuki sat before. Thinking about it this way, it is indeed possible. Yagyu Tsuki seemed to be too troublesome and refused to do those D-level missions, but in fact he wanted to improve the overall strength of Team 7 first to prevent mistakes when doing missions later. Instead of rushing to compete for D-level tasks, he first instructed Team 7 to practice hard, which can not only cultivate Team 7's teamwork, but also get higher scores when doing tasks later. It is indeed in line with Yagyu Tsuki's education method. Although Yagyu Tsuki is a very self-centered person, this man will do everything perfectly as long as he decides to do it. Alas, Sarutobi Asuma had a bitter mouth and exhaled a pale smoke. Why didn't I find such a good education method? It really deserves to be Yagyu Tsuki. No. It should be said that it really deserves to be the man that Yuhi Kurenai likes. Yu is secretly training Team 7, is he planning to take the Chunin exam? Might Guy said with a serious expression, which was rare for him. The Chunin exam will start soon, and Team 7 can't get stronger even if they train now. I want to apologize to you. Our Team 3 is very strong, especially Lee. Lee is the most hardworking ninja I have ever seen. He is a hardworking genius. His efforts from childhood to adulthood will never lose to Team 7's efforts in a short period of time. Hard work will not deceive him. That kid will prove his hard work to everyone in this Chunin exam. Might Guy's expression was firm. Hard work can surpass genius. This is Rock Lee's ninja way. Witnessing Rock Lee's implementation of ninja way is Might Guy's only dream now. Sarutobi Asuma said, then I have to apologize to Yagyu too. Don't look at our 10th team like that, but Shikamaru and the others are all excellent ninjas. I will help them sign up for this Chunin exam. The overall strength of Team 7 is very weak, especially Uzumaki Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto is the real tale. Although it sounds bad to say this, it is the fact. Haruno Sakura studies well, but his overall strength is mediocre. Only Uchiha Sasuke is worth looking forward to. Even Yagyu can't improve the overall strength of Team 7 in a short period of time. Team 7 will definitely fail in the Chunin exam. Unless Yagyu can let Team 7 learn powerful ninjutsu in a short period of time, of course, this kind of thing is just talk. After all, how can Jōnin master powerful techniques in a short period of time? He didn't deliberately belittle Team 7, and everything he said was the truth. Uzumaki Naruto always scored 0 in every exam, and he couldn't even use chakra freely. Naruto was the real tale in everyone's eyes. Haruno Sakura is a good student, but it is useless because his talent is very mediocre. The only one worth looking forward to in Team 7 is Uchiha Sasuke. So even if Yagyu Tsuki is training Team 7 now, he can't become stronger before the Chunin exam, unless Team 7 can learn some particularly powerful ninjutsu in a short period of time. Otherwise, it will be in vain. Quote. Hitaki Kakashi didn't say anything, his intuition told him that things were not that simple. Open black lens bracket 35 close black lens bracket little Sakura's decision, to use the student's back door. The moon was bright in the sky, and the stars were twinkling. The 7th training ground. Uzumaki Naruto's clothes were torn, his face was covered with dust, his whole body was dirty and covered with mud, his legs were weak and he fell to the ground, raised his head to look at the scratches on the top of the tree, and said with heavy breathing, Who? Sasuke, I won this competition. Uchiha Sasuke sat with his back against the tree, his whole body was also dirty and covered with mud, he looked up at Uzumaki Naruto tiredly, and said in a deep voice, Idiot, it was obviously me who climbed to the top of the tree first. The two of them had already completed the tree climbing training, but in order to decide who was the winner of this training, they chose a tree taller than the tree used for training and started a tree climbing competition for several hours. In the end, the two were exhausted and could not tell who was better. Whether it was the speed of climbing the tree or how high they could climb, this time the two were completely evenly matched. Naruto looked at Haruno Sakura next to him, pulled the corner of his mouth to reveal a tired smile, and said, Sakura-chan, did you see it just now? It was me who climbed to the top of the tree first. Haruno Sakura knelt on the ground with her whole body weak, listening to the quarrel between Naruto and Sasuke, and the fatigue in her heart became stronger. She scratched her cheek in distress, and finally did not answer Naruto's question. I am the first person to complete the tree climbing training, right? I am the first person to complete the tree climbing training and climb to the height specified by teacher Yagyu. Although I am the first person to complete the tree climbing training, Naruto and Sasuke climbed to a higher position. She also wanted to climb to a higher height, but unfortunately, neither her energy nor her chakra could support her to climb to the height of Naruto and Sasuke. Her chakra had been used up long ago. The cool breeze blew the dust, and Yagyu appeared in front of Team 7 out of thin air. Yagyu Tsuki raised his hand and smiled and greeted, Hey, are you still arguing? Seeing you two so loving, I feel relieved. Before he arrived at the 7th training ground, he could hear the chattering of Naruto and Sasuke from a distance. Yagyu-sensei. All the eyes of the 7th class lit up. Yagyu-sensei, please teach me that super powerful move. I have completed the tree climbing training, and I climbed much higher than Sasuke. After seeing Yagyu Tsuki, Uzumaki Naruto's tired mood was swept away, and he hurriedly ran and crawled to kneel in front of Yagyu Tsuki. Uchiha Sasuke stared at Naruto coldly, stood up and put his hands in his pockets and said coldly, Idiot, we climbed the same height, and I climbed to the highest point first. Damn Naruto, he actually twisted the facts in front of Yagyu-sensei. I am the winner, I must win, and then get the super powerful move that Yagyu-sensei said, and become the winner to order Naruto at will within a day. It was me who climbed to the top first. You big idiot, how could you be stronger than me? Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha glared at each other fiercely. Haruno Sakura sighed. She did not participate in the debate about winning or losing, because she did not have the same urgent desire to become stronger as Naruto and Sasuke. She did not have any dreams or goals at the moment. She was completely determined to learn whatever Yagyu-sensei taught her. Naruto Uzumaki hugged Yagyu-sensei's legs, raised his face and said pitifully, Teacher Yagyu, it was me who climbed higher, right? You must teach me some super powerful moves. What he was most worried about now was that Yagyu-sensei did not teach him super powerful moves, and then he was judged as a loser in the training, and was ordered around by the arrogant Sasuke for a day. How terrible. It was terrible just to think about it. Get out of the way, you little brat. Yagyu Tsuki raised his leg and threw Naruto out of the vortex. After Naruto rolled several times in the air, he lay on the ground with his 4 legs up in the air. How should I put it? Yagyu Tsuki pinched his chin, looked at the big trees in the distance, looked at the scratches on the big trees, and said after a moment, the first person to complete the training was Haruno Sakura, but Naruto and Sasuke climbed higher. It's a bit difficult. Yagyu Tsuki glanced at Haruno Sakura lightly, and his light chuckle seemed to hide a knife in his smile. Hirakuma, I'll leave this question to you. As the first person to complete the tree climbing training, you have the right to decide who can learn the super powerful moves. You can only choose 2 people. Hey. Haruno Sakura's expression gradually became confused, and he pointed at his fair face with his finger. I choose. What does it mean? I always feel that Mr. Yagyu has something to say. Only 2 people can be chosen, which means that one person in Team 7 can only watch the other 2 learn super powerful moves. If I have to choose, of course it's me and Sasuke, right? I can take this opportunity to exclude Naruto during the training period, creating more opportunities for me and Sasuke to spend time together, and there is also Yagyu-sensei, a super handsome guy, to guide the training. It should be quiet if Naruto is excluded, right? Because Naruto is really annoying. Sakura-chan. Uzumaki Naruto gritted his teeth and looked at Haruno Sakura expectantly. Humph. Uchiha Sasuke put his hands in his pockets, leaned against the tree and looked at Haruno Sakura coldly. Haruno Sakura's mouth moved slightly, and the words stopped abruptly when they reached her lips. Uzumaki Naruto's words rang in her mind. Becoming Hokage is my dream, a dream that I must fulfill even if I die. Closing square bracket. Sasuke wants to gain power because he has the ambition of revenge, and Naruto wants to gain power because he has the dream of becoming Hokage. But I don't have any dreams. Sasuke and Naruto both need that super powerful move now, right? Is it really okay for me to easily deprive Naruto of the opportunity to become stronger just because Sasuke is handsome and Yagyu-sensei is a super handsome guy? After I become stronger, it seems meaningless. Let's give it to Uzumaki Naruto this time. Haruno Sakura forced a smile, looked at Yagyu Tsuki with a forced smile, and said, I choose Naruto and Sasuke, I will become stronger in the future. She currently has no dreams, no goals, just wanting to be an ordinary ninja and perform ordinary tasks. That's all. Although she said before that she wanted to become stronger and defeat Yagyu-sensei, and teach Yagyu-sensei how to respect girls, it was just angry words. How could an ordinary ninja like me defeat Yagyu-sensei? Really? Yagyu Tsuki sipped her lollipop and looked at Haruno Sakura with a little disappointment. Brat, what's the point of answering the same as I thought? No dreams, no goals, just wanting to be an ordinary ninja, this is more or less a bit difficult for me. Yeah, long live Sakura-chan. Uzumaki Naruto cheered enthusiastically. HMPH. Uchiha Sasuke snorted coldly, and his fist slowly loosened. Even with his cold and arrogant personality, he was very nervous at that moment. Lu Shengyu looked at Haruno Sakura who was forcing a smile, and said lightly, since you have made a decision, don't put on such a disgusting smile. Why should you accommodate yourself and help others? Quote. Haruno Sakura turned his head away, biting his lips lightly without saying anything. You are the first person to complete the training. The teacher has the obligation to give excellent students a back door. Let me make an exception and use your back door once. Lu Shengyu walked to Haruno Sakura, put his hand on Haruno Sakura's little head, and said with a faint smile, if you don't have a goal, then go find a goal. There will always be a reason for you to want to become stronger. Anyway, let's learn together this time. It's so troublesome. But it's understandable. After all, Haruno Sakura is just an ordinary person. But, if the cash cows of Team 7 were not there, the ambition to become stronger immediately would affect the content of the sign-in reward. Can Sakura-chan also learn super powerful moves? Long live Teacher Yagyu. Uzumaki Naruto jumped and cheered. Go through the back door. Haruno Sakura frowned slightly, she always felt that this sentence was strange. Go through my back door once. Are you sick? After Haruno Sakura reacted, a blush appeared on her fair face, and she stepped back in panic, covering her buttocks. Yagyu teased lightly, a stinky brat who knows everything will be hated by adults. Compared to a woman who knows everything, I prefer to paint white paper yellow. To be honest, it's a bit amazing. At the age of Pingshong, he can actually understand going through the back door. He can understand so many things at a young age. What will happen in the future? Rogue. Haruno Sakura glared at Yagyu in shame and anger. As a beautiful teenage girl, it's normal for me to know a little bit, right? Besides, Mr. Lu Sheng is so annoying, he actually said he would take the back door from his students. Pervert teacher. Lu Shengyu clapped his hands and said, the jokes stop here, everyone sit down. 36. The most special A rank. Rasengan. All the members of Class 7 sat down immediately, waiting for Yagyu Tsuki's explanation. Teacher Yagyu, what should we do about the tree climbing winner? Since I am the winner who climbed to the highest point, I can order Sasuke around for a day, right? Uzumaki Naruto raised his hand to ask, and looked at Uchiha Sasuke sarcastically while speaking. Order Sasuke around for a day. It's so cool to think about it. I will order Sasuke to make a fool of himself countless times in a day, and this arrogant guy should be very embarrassed by then, right? Idiot, you are the loser. Uchiha Sasuke glanced at Naruto indifferently, and that look seemed to tell Naruto to wait for death. Order Naruto around for a day. I'll kill you. First, let Naruto kneel down and apologize to me. Yagyu Tsuki suggested, win or lose. It seems that there is such a thing. Since you haven't decided the winner, let's compromise in this competition. How to compromise? All the members of Class 7 were puzzled. Yagyu Tsuki raised a finger and said with a smile, from now until tomorrow night, all of you little brats will be my dogs. Great proposal, right? Huh. The faces of all the members of Team 7 changed drastically. Logically speaking, the so-called compromise should at least be a tie between Naruto and Sasuke, and the victory or defeat will be left for the next competition, right? Being a dog for Yagyu teacher for a day. Is there such a compromise? Hey, you guy, Uzumaki Naruto was angry before he finished speaking. Are there any problems? Yagyu Tsuki's face turned cold, and he looked down at Uzumaki Naruto indifferently. Uzumaki Naruto was startled and hurriedly changed his words, no. Yagyu Tsukishiro said indifferently, let's make it like this from now on. If you can't decide the winner, all of you will obey my orders within one day. If you are very resistant to this proposal, then try to decide the winner, you little brats. Quote. Uchiha Sasuke's face was gloomy, and he gritted his teeth and glared at Naruto. Damn it, it's all Naruto's fault. Obey Yagyu teacher's orders within one day. I'm afraid that Yagyu teacher will play a dog. Next time I must surpass Naruto, this super idiot who is at the bottom. Quote. Uzumaki Naruto's eyes were full of anger, and he glared at Uchiha Sasuke fiercely. Damn it, it's all Sasuke's fault. Next time I must win, I must surpass Sasuke, this arrogant guy. Ding. Gained 2 growth points, and the current growth value is 87 points. Close black lens bracket. Yagyu Tsukishiro said in his heart. This kind of thing can easily arouse the competitive spirit of the brats. Very good. Do I want one too? Haruno Sakura blinked and pointed at his face. Of course, you are Team 7. Yagyu Tsuki nodded slightly. Quote. Haruno Sakura's expression gradually solidified, and a wave of anger slowly rose in his heart, cursing Naruto and Sasuke in his heart. What a joke, bastards. It's all Naruto and Sasuke's fault. They had to have a tree climbing competition when they had nothing to do. Now, I'm also dragged down by you two bastards. Obey Yagyu teacher's orders within one day. Is it possible that Yagyu teacher wants to take my back door? Ah, so annoying. I want to die. Damn it. Next time I will definitely win. How can I lose to this guy Sasuke? Uzumaki Naruto said firmly, he must beat Uchiha Sasuke. Haruno Sakura grabbed Naruto's hair, his smile gave people a dangerous feeling, and there seemed to be thick black smoke behind him. He said, Naruto, if you compete again in the future, I will kill you. Next time. Want to do it next time. If there is a tie next time, I am afraid that I will have to serve Mr. Yagyu as a dog again. Sakura-chan. Uzumaki Naruto looked terrified and looked at Haruno Sakura with an expression as if he had seen a ghost. Although the order is interesting, let's practice for now. Listen carefully, you little brats, I will only explain it once. Yagyu sat cross-legged on the ground and looked at all the members of Team 7 indifferently. Suddenly, all the members of Team 7 stopped fooling around, and everyone looked at Yagyu seriously. They were all looking forward to the super powerful moves that teacher Yagyu said. Tree climbing practice is to control the flow of chakra. What we need to do now is to release chakra. Yagyu raised a finger, and light blue chakra emerged from the fingertips. Uzumaki Naruto sat cross-legged on the ground, his hands folded in front of his chest, tilted his head and asked with a puzzled look, release chakra. What's the use of doing this? Release chakra. It sounds very powerful. 9 tails, kid, good question. Yagyu flipped his hand and took out a palm-sized iron body like a magic trick, and then threw the iron body in front of Uzumaki Naruto. Try to crush it. Who is 9 tails kid? My name is Uzumaki Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto complained, picked up the hard iron body on the ground, and then squeezed it tightly, until his face turned red, but he still couldn't make the iron body deform. Uzumaki Naruto threw the iron body to Yagyu Tsuki's feet, pointed at Yagyu Tsuki and said unhappily, are you kidding me? How can I crush this iron body? Even you can't do it. I can do it. Yagyu Tsuki picked up the iron body at his feet and easily and casually squeezed it into a thumb-sized iron ball. Quote. All the members of Class 7 were surprised that Yagyu teacher could easily crush such a hard iron body. Uzumaki Naruto's mouth twitched. He was just talking in anger, but Yagyu teacher could really do it. This strength is a bit scary. You can easily move the iron body with force, but what if you use chakra to destroy it? Yagyu took out another palm-sized iron body, and light blue chakra emerged from his palm. It's meaningless to just release chakra, but what if you control chakra to rotate and compress it? The light blue chakra in Yagyu Yu's palm rotated and turned into a small light blue tornado, and then the small tornado was compressed into an energy ball. The iron body twisted and deformed with the rotating chakra, and was finally blasted into ashes by the light blue Rasengan. See, you can easily destroy the hard iron body. Yagyu Yu patted the dust on his palm. Wow, so awesome. Uzumaki Naruto's eyes gradually widened, and he looked at the iron ash piled on the ground, and then looked at Yagyu Yu excitedly with stars in his eyes. It's so cool to be able to easily destroy the hard iron body and release chakra. Chakra can actually be used like this. Haruno Sakura covered her mouth with her hands, and a huge wave of shocking emotions surged in her heart. She couldn't calm down for a long time thinking about the scene just now. Release chakra to destroy the hard iron body. Oh my god. When I was in the ninja school before, I never came into contact with this knowledge. It's difficult to release chakra, and it's even more difficult to control the released chakra. This move should be very difficult to learn, right? Uchiha Sasuke frowned slightly and stared at Yagyu Tsuki with the Scarlet Two-Tomo Sharingan. He had been staring at Yagyu Tsuki with Sharingan just now, but with his Sharingan, he couldn't see through the operation method of Yagyu Tsuki when using chakra. Is it very difficult? It should be quite high. This is the Rasengan developed by the 4th Hokage during his lifetime. It is also the most special non-marked attack ninjutsu. While speaking, Yagyu Tsuki glanced at Uzumaki Naruto lightly. Rasengan is indeed a very special move. It is a move developed by the 4th Hokage to protect your mother, Nine-Tails Kid. Rasengan is the ultimate form change. Currently, few people in the world can use this move. Yagyu Tsuki touched his chin and said thoughtfully, the basic power is A level, but the learning difficulty depends on talent. After all, many Jōnin can't use the form change to the ultimate. He couldn't judge the difficulty of learning Rasengan, because he used to have a playful mentality and completely learned Rasengan in just 3 minutes. Because, the moment he awakened the power of wood style at the age of 4, he had completely mastered the form change, and almost all wood style moves were the ultimate form change. But I didn't expect. The Rasengan that could be mastered in 3 minutes before would be used in teaching one day. It's quite funny. Yagyu teacher, how long did it take you to learn Rasengan? Uchiha Sasuke asked. Since there are only a few people in the world who can use Rasengan, and many Jōnin can't master the form change, how long did it take the always confident Yagyu teacher to learn Rasengan? Uchiha Sasuke's question is more or less a bit sinister. 3 minutes, to be precise, he can master it right away. The 3rd generation old dog should have a record of this genius who has mastered the form change the fastest in history. Yagyu Tsuki said. 3 minutes. Uchiha Sasuke was stunned. So amazing. Haruno Sakura's eyes were full of peach blossoms, and he looked at Yagyu Tsuki like a fangirl. Yagyu teacher can master the Rasengan in 3 minutes, which is enough to easily destroy the hard iron body. Oh my god. It's a bit outrageous. Open black lens bracket 37 close black lens bracket lightning style the power of Rasengan. 3 minutes. Look at me, I can learn Rasengan in 3 seconds. After listening to this, Uzumaki Naruto raised his hand and imitated the posture of Yagyu Tsuki using Rasengan, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't hold back a bit of chakra. Although Rasengan is the ultimate of form change, it is only the most basic foundation. Adding the attributes of your own chakra can enhance the power of Rasengan, and there will be some miraculous effects according to the attributes. Yagyu Tsuki ignored Naruto and raised his palm to emit light blue chakra, which was compressed and rotated to form Rasengan. Rasengan is just an empty shell, a move that the 4th generation did not complete before they died. For example, Thunder attribute. Yagyu Tsuki's hand holding Rasengan trembled slightly, and injected Thunder attribute chakra into Rasengan. The light blue Rasengan gradually turned pale blue, and the high-speed rotating Rasengan was covered with a layer of electric current. Lightning style. Rasengan. You can also change the size. Yagyu Tsuki injected a large amount of chakra, and the Rasengan wrapped with lightning gradually expanded, and finally turned into a giant chakra energy ball full of dangerous aura and terrifying lightning. Yagyu Tsuki played with the giant lightning-style Rasengan, looked at the confused Team 7, and said with a faint smile, it's a very convenient move, right? Team 7 listened carefully. Haruno Sakura looked at the giant lightning energy ball, and a trace of fear and dread flashed in his eyes. Keep it away. No matter how you look at it, this chakra energy ball is very dangerous, right? Yagyu Tsuki said, this is chakra's nature transformation. The most basic Rasengan has no attributes, but after being injected into chakra nature transformation, it will produce some attack effects with attributes. Injecting chakra nature transformation into the Rasengan is the final stage that the 4th Hokage failed to complete before his death. By the way, you can also throw it out. Yagyu Tsuki threw the Rasengan out, and the giant Rasengan wrapped in electricity leapt into the air, leaving huge scratches on the ground wherever it passed, until it hit the large rock mountains in the distance. Boom boom. The giant Rasengan swallowed several rock mountains, and the sharp lightning cut the rock mountains into countless small pieces. In the end, the rock mountains were all turned into ashes, and a huge pit appeared on the ground. Hiss. Everyone in the audience took a breath of cold air, and everyone looked at the distance in disbelief. The scorched earth wasteland wrapped in electricity gradually stunned all the members of Team 7. Even Sasuke, who was always cold and arrogant, was dumbfounded at this moment. All the members of Team 7 were stunned, looking at the destruction caused by Yagyu Tsuki's attack in the distance. The rocks that were just fine were destroyed by Teacher Yagyu's attack, and even a super large pit was smashed on the ground. Just one attack, only one attack. This can no longer be described as powerful, it is simply a natural disaster. All the members of Team 7 were shocked and speechless, and they couldn't suppress the shock in their hearts for a long time. It was the first time they saw such a terrible and outrageous ninjutsu. There are such terrible and outrageous ninjutsu in the world. Yagyu Tsuki's lightning-style Rasengan completely refreshed the three views of Team 7 and also refreshed Team 7's understanding of ninjutsu. Team 7 used to think that throwing a kunai, spraying a great fireball, and using a shadow clone were enough to be a ninja. Because they had never been out of the village, nor had they seen any big scenes, they were all just out of the ninja school and had never seen the world. Uchiha Sasuke, the only one in Team 7 who had seen a lot, was also seeing such an outrageous move for the first time, because during the night of the extermination, Uchiha Itachi was almost unilaterally slashing people with a knife. That's about it. The thunder attribute Rasengan is more inclined to control. In terms of power, the wind attribute Rasengan is better. Yagyu Tsuki raised his hand, pointed at the wound on his palm that was healing quickly, and said lightly, injecting nature transformation into the Rasengan will cause a great backlash to the user. If you want to use attribute Rasengan without injury, you must at least be able to heal yourself instantly. With the current ability of you little brats, let alone using self-healing ability, even nature transformation is out of the question. All attribute Rasengan will cause a huge backlash when used. It can be said that this is the rule of attribute Rasengan, but Yagyu Tsuki's passive self-healing ability can instantly heal all injuries. After turning on Sage mode, the self-healing ability reaches an outrageous level. Even broken hands and feet can be instantly healed. With the current ability of the tool people in Team 7, even if they can inject nature transformation into the Rasengan, they will become disabled after using it. Of course, since there is a problem, there is a solution. Thanks to Tsunade for giving me the power of 100 healings. After Team 7 masters the Rasengan, we can teach them how to use it first, and then start learning Chakra's nature transformation. The self-healing ability of the power of 100 healings can just make up for the backlash caused by Team 7's tools using the attribute Rasengan. As for Sage mode, no hope. With Team 7's current ability, there is no way they can master Sage mode. You damned brats, hurry up and work hard to become stronger. The teacher is going to draw out the immortality from the sign in reward. To this extent, Uchiha Sasuke slowly clenched his fist, gritted his teeth and stared at Yagyu Tsukishiro. The extent that Yagyu teacher said was the power that he wanted to obtain in his dreams. You start practicing from the basics, and when you can use Rasengan, consider injecting nature transformation. Yagyu Tsukishiro took out a bag of balloons, threw the balloons in front of Haruno Sakura, and said, blow up a few balloons. Okay, Yagyu teacher. Haruno Sakura sat on the ground, took out a few balloons very obediently, and then blew up several balloons neatly. All members of Team 7 are now respectful and look at Yagyu Tsukishiro very politely. Stinky brat. Yagyu Tsukishiro was speechless. These dead kids changed their faces so quickly. After seeing the power of lightning-style Rasengan, they changed their faces and became very polite on the spot. Haruno Sakura held the blown-up balloon, looked at Yagyu Tsuki in confusion, and said, Teacher Yagyu, why are you blowing up balloons? Shut up. Just watch. Yagyu Tsuki picked up a balloon, light blue chakra emerged from his palm, and then the balloon exploded with a bang. Rasengan is divided into 3 stages. In the first stage, feel the flow of chakra, and then release chakra to burst the balloon. The technique is the same as climbing a tree. Use the feeling of climbing a tree to release chakra. 3 days, I will give you 3 days to complete the initial stage. Those who fail to complete the training within 3 days will have to wear a forehead protector engraved with waste for the next month. Yagyu Tsuki took out 3 forehead protectors. There was no symbol representing the village on the forehead protectors, but 2 big words waste were engraved on them. 3 days was a bit rushed. But there is motivation only when there is pressure. Waste. All the members of the 7th team looked at Yagyu Tsuki, who was holding 3 special forehead protectors in his hand. The forehead protectors were also engraved with the word waste very clearly. If you walk around the village wearing this broken forehead protector, no matter who you meet, you will be laughed to death. What a joke. You must complete the training within 3 days. Lu Shengyu walked to Haruno Sakura with his hands in his pockets, showing a vicious and cruel smile, bending down and whispering in Haruno Sakura's ear, in terms of chakra control, you are the best person in Team 7. If you don't complete the preliminary stage in 3 days, I will consider using your back door. It should be very painful, don't let me down. Back door. Haruno Sakura's face turned pale, and he stepped back a few steps in panic, covering his buttocks. His face turned pale and weak for a while, and then turned red with shame. He stared at Lu Shengyu with tears in his eyes, as if he wanted to eat Lu Shengyu alive. Is Lu Sheng teacher kidding? But it looks like it's real. I just respected Lu Sheng teacher and thought Lu Sheng teacher was an excellent strong man, but this guy is really a dead pervert. Use the back door. What a joke. B*******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************่*่่่*่่่่่่่Let's practice happily while doing the mission. See you at the third generation old dog's place tomorrow. After saying that, Yagyu Tsuki disappeared out of thin air. Ding. Get the sign in reward. Closing square bracket. Sign in reward content. Chakra amount doubled. Closing square bracket. Yagyu Tsuki thought to himself. Chakra amount doubled. It is indeed a considerable reward. After all, the power of all moves is linked to the chakra amount, but the problem is, this level of reward is meaningless. The damn cash cows of Team 7 should get stronger quickly so that I can get a meaningful sign in reward. Mission. Yeah. I can finally start the mission. Uzumaki Naruto cheered excitedly. When he was in the ninja school, he was looking forward to carrying out missions as a ninja. 3 days. Within 3 days I must complete the initial stage of Rasengan. Haruno Sakura gritted her teeth and raised her middle finger in the direction where Yagyu Tsuki left. Her whole body seemed to be burning with rage. Her strong fighting spirit made Sasuke and Naruto stunned. Sakura-chan. So scary. Uzumaki Naruto was frightened and his legs went weak. What did Yagyu-sensei just say to Sakura-chan? Why did Sakura-chan suddenly become so scary? 38 Team 7 looks like the legendary Sannin. Hokage's office. Sarutobi Hiruzen sat on the Hokage chair, smoking one cigarette after another, exhaling pale smoke, looking at the Jōnin information recorded in the scroll, shaking his head and sighing, ah. Many of the new Jōnin teams this year have completed many D-level missions, and some teams have even performed C-level missions. Just yesterday, the 10th team led by Hyuga Neji completed a C-level mission and defeated a Chunin rebel ninja without the help of the team leader Might Guy. Currently, only the 7th team has not done any missions. Even if it is a D-level mission to find cats and dogs to help people watch the store, it is still a mission. The progress of mission completion is related to the advancement of Chunin. The Chunin exam is a place to test the strength of young genin. If you want to advance to become a Chunin, you need to look at your strength and the evaluation of the progress of mission completion. Now is definitely not the period of the Ninja Village War. You can't become a Chunin just by being strong. Teams with low progress in mission completion are not eligible to apply for the Chunin exam. Sigh. Team 7 has never done any missions. If they send Anbu to monitor, they will be chased away by Yagyu Tsuki. What is Yagyu Tsuki doing with Team 7? Azuki Yugao used the instant body to appear out of thin air, knelt on one knee in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen, and said respectfully, report to the Hokage, Yagyu Tsuki and others have arrived. She is in a surprisingly bad mood now, and even feels sick when she sees a lollipop. Who would give a lollipop to someone else? After robbing someone's wallet, he still gave them a lollipop. Yagyu Tsuki is a pervert. Is this the style of a strong man? What a new era. Ninja God. Sarutobi Hiruzen put away the scroll, nodded slightly and said, yeah. After Azuki Yugao reported the mission, he used the instant body to lurk in the dark. It seems that there is no one around the Hokage building, but in fact there are many Anbu in the dark, all waiting for the Hokage's order. Bang! The door of the office was violently pushed open. The rough sound of the door opening startled the Anbu lurking in the dark. In full view of everyone, Yagyu led Team 7 into the office. You are still alive, stinky old man. Yagyu wore a loose black yukata, with messy white long hair casually scattered. She looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen lightly, showing a sarcastic smile and said, just find a place to die. It may be easier to die now. Do you want me to help you order a coffin? Don't worry, I'll treat you. Quote. All members of Team 7 were speechless. Teacher Yagyu has always taught them to respect the elderly and love the young, and to be polite as a ninja and a human being. Then what did Teacher Yagyu do? Curse the Hokage to die. Help the Hokage order a coffin. You call this respecting the elderly and loving the young? Is there such a way to respect the elderly and love the young? And treat. Whose family invites a coffin? Is there such an outrageous invitation? Stinky boy, I am the Hokage. Even though I am an old man now, I have the responsibility to protect the village. Sarutobi Hiruzen was not angry. He swept his eyes across the faces of all the members of Team 7 and said gently while smoking a cigarette, how can I leave with peace of mind before I witness the young seedlings grow and become stronger? At least before leaving, I have the obligation to correct your twisted personality. A trace of sharpness flashed in Sarutobi Hiruzen's old eyes, and he looked deeply at Yagyu Tsuki. The stinky boy is good in every way, but he is a problem. Yagyu Tsuki sat on the guest sofa, crossed his legs and said lazily, the so-called obligation is wishful thinking. If I just throw some cells to you, you will be able to smile foolishly in the coffin after you die. Correct a twisted personality. Quite funny. The old dog of the third generation dreams of having his own cells, and then cultivate a large number of ninjas who can use the power of wood style without any loss. Although I don't lose anything, Just by randomly dropping some blood, I may be able to cultivate some ninjas who can use wood style. But, it's disgusting. Using the cells in my own blood to cultivate others is simply disgusting, like physiological nausea. I will just press the snakes on those rubbish. This is more effective than studying the cells in the blood. If you, the old dog of the third generation, were a top-notch beautiful girl, I would give you all my cells. But unfortunately, you are a stinky old man. Put yourself in a difficult position to help others succeed. Wrong. Totally wrong. Put others in a difficult position to help yourself succeed. This is a qualified time traveler. Uzumaki Naruto folded his hands in front of his chest, sat cross-legged on the ground, and said like a deadbeat, I heard there is a mission today. Third generation grandpa, I am already a ninja who can handle everything on my own. Please assign me some difficult missions, even if it is to catch some traitors. Just give me a few A-level missions. If there are no high-level missions, I will sleep here tonight until you give me a mission. Uzumaki Naruto knew that Team 7 would carry out a mission today, so he had to take on a difficult mission. Since it was the first time Team 7 had a mission, they had to take on a very difficult mission. Only by taking on very difficult missions can one be considered a ninja who can handle everything on his own. After this period of hard training, he could clearly feel that he had become stronger. Of course, he had to complete difficult missions after becoming stronger. He wanted to tell everyone in the village that he, Uzumaki Naruto, was an excellent ninja from now on by completing very difficult missions. So he had to carry out a difficult mission today, at least a B-rank mission to catch a rebel ninja. Naruto. Haruno Sakura looked at the tantrum Uzumaki Naruto, his eyes gradually burning with anger. A hash appeared on his forehead, and he grabbed Uzumaki Naruto's collar and punched Uzumaki Akito several times. Don't mess around in front of the Hokage. The old man in front of him who looked like he had no temper was the third Hokage, the most powerful and greatest ninja in the village. What if Naruto made the third Hokage angry and all the members of Team 7 were severely punished? But, well said Naruto. Team 7 is to carry out difficult missions, and then I can show off to Ino Pig. Bang! Uzumaki Naruto fell to the ground with a few punches, a fiery red bag appeared on his head, and his butt was sticking out and his whole body was twitching violently. Uzumaki Naruto rolled his eyes, twitching and muttering, Sakura. Sakura-chan. Sakura-chan has been very violent recently, even more terrifying than before. Ever since Yagyu-sensei said something to Sakura-chan, Sakura-chan's temper has become more and more irritable, and she will beat me up if she gets a little angry. Haruno Sakura grabbed Uzumaki Naruto's head and pressed him hard to the ground, making him kneel down to apologize, and apologized to Sarutobi Hiruzen in a panic. I'm very sorry, Hokage-sama, I will teach Naruto a lesson right now. Uzumaki Naruto's eyes flashed with fear, and he complained pitifully, Sakura-chan, you have already taught me a lesson. Shut up. Haruno Sakura glared at Naruto. Damn it. Yagyu-sensei insisted on saying something about taking the back door, which made me not sleep well last night. So annoying. Uchiha Sasuke put his hands in his pockets, looked at Naruto and Sakura who were fooling around indifferently, and cursed inwardly, super idiot. Difficult mission. Very good. Sometimes, Naruto, this idiot, can say something useful. He also wanted to perform difficult missions, and then prove to everyone the power of Uchiha, and prove to everyone that he, Uchiha Sasuke, is the strongest genin among all the genins in this class. It's good to be energetic, and young people should be energetic. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the fooling Team 7 with a complex look in his eyes, took a deep puff of cigarette, and exhaled a pale smoke. Alas, it really looks like that. The current state of Team 7 is very similar to that of Orochimaru and others in the past. It can even be said that stupidity, indifference, and violence, these 3 points of Team 7 are exactly the same as the legendary Sannin. Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind emerged with the back of Orochimaru who defected from the village in the past, and a feeling of loss gradually surged in his heart. 39, Wave Country Mission, Dazna. You little brat, I've taught you to respect the old and love the young, right? The old third generation dog is having a hard time breathing now, can you please stop bullying such a weak old man? Yagyu glanced at everyone in Team 7. I'm very sorry, I'm going to teach Naruto a lesson now. Haruno Sakura grabbed Naruto Uzumaki's collar and was about to teach Naruto Uzumaki again. No matter how rude he is, Yagyu-sensei is a Jōnin, and as a Jōnin, he will definitely care about the Hokage. Yagyu-sensei has a sharp tongue but a soft heart. Tsunere boy, what if he gets angry to death? Yagyu walked in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen, bent down and grabbed Sarutobi Hiruzen's beard, and the slightly raised corners of his mouth gave people a bad feeling, and said in a mocking tone, you said it, old man. Quote. All members of Team 7 were speechless. They just thought that Yagyu-sensei was going to teach them to respect the Hokage. But they never expected it. Yagyu-sensei is even worse. I always feel that Yagyu-sensei has a bad relationship with the third Hokage. Hee. Brat. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned slightly, and opened Yagyu Tsuki's hand with force. In a moment, his eyebrows relaxed, and a trace of sharpness flashed in his old eyes, and his whole body exuded the aura of a cage-level strongman. Although I am old, I never thought I would lose to a young man. There was a hint of warning in Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes. At this time, all the Anbu hiding in the dark were staring at Yagyu Tsuki. Really, I will look forward to it. Yagyu Tsuki took out a lollipop, unwrapped it and threw the lollipop into his mouth. In secret, Azuki Yugao, who was staring at Yagyu Tsuki indifferently, saw Yagyu Tsuki take out a lollipop, and a trace of fear flashed in her eyes. A feeling of shame and anger gradually surged in her heart, and she subconsciously shrank her butt back. Die pervert, eat, 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 all you know is eating candy, I wish you will be sweetened to death by candy. Naruto, Sasuke, little Sakura, it's a good idea to complete a difficult task and prove to everyone that you are an excellent ninja. Sarutobi Hiruzen ignored the nonsense of Yagyu Tsuki, stood up and walked slowly to the front of Team 7. But you can't become strong if you are impatient, and blindly pursuing power will make you lose yourself and fall into darkness. Sarutobi Hiruzen put his hands behind his back, and Orochimaru's back appeared in his mind when he spoke, with a trace of grief in his eyes. Orochimaru was his most beloved student. Orochimaru once blindly pursued power, and eventually betrayed the village and became a rebel ninja. The betrayal of his former beloved disciple Orochimaru made him feel very heartbroken when he recalled it now. Effort is the foundation of gaining strength. Step by step, you will become stronger and protect more. When you have the heart to protect something, this belief will make you very strong. Where the leaves are flying, the fire will also continue to grow. The flames will continue to illuminate the village and let the new leaves sprout. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a puff of cigarette slowly, walked to the window and looked at the whole village. A weak flame can also light up the village. You are both the flame and the new sprout. When you can understand the will of fire, you can become a ninja who can stand on your own. Sarutobi Hiruzen turned around and looked at Team 7 with a gentle smile. The will of fire. Everyone in Team 7 was puzzled. They did not understand what Sarutobi Hiruzen meant, let alone what the will of fire was. Pa pa pa. Yagyu Tsuki clapped his hands. Lu Shengyu clapped his hands and said jokingly, you said it very well. I will go to the back to receive the award later. Lu Shengyu, don't mess around. Sarutobi Hiruzen glared at Lu Shengyu angrily. Where there is light, there must be darkness. You can see the dazzling fire, but you can't see the haze caused by the fire. The blazing flames will illuminate the village. The dust after the fire is extinguished can be called hatred. Lu Shengyu's shoulder, Sarutobi Hiruzen, the owner of Lu Shengyu, smiled badly with a sense of danger. Lu Shengyu's smile was bad and dangerous, and whispered in Sarutobi Hiruzen's ear, hatred will drift away with the wind. Don't think that I am the only one who shows my fangs. The thing you old men are most worried about is about to happen. So cool. It's so cool to be a riddle man, and it's also good to be a middle school student. Stinky boy, I'm not at the stage of being educated by young people. Sarutobi Hiruzen opened Lu Shengyu's hand, took a deep breath of cigarette, and exhaled a pale smoke. Education. Yagyu Tsuki pointed a lollipop at Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart and said indifferently, I'm not interested in educating the old man. I'm just giving you a piece of advice. Your will of fire has turned against the sky. Using all the information he knows, he becomes a high-ranking riddler. It seems quite interesting. Advice. Sarutobi Hiruzen was puzzled. Yagyu Tsuki said mysteriously, Orochimaru. Orochimaru, the dead demon, was the sin of the third-generation old dog. Letting Orochimaru successfully defect and leave the village has violated the belief that the third generation has always adhered to, that is, the so-called will of fire. I am not interested in participating in the master-disciple feud. When Orochimaru invades the village, the third-generation old dog will naturally understand everything. I will just watch the show and be a happy and entertaining person. Orochimaru. Sarutobi Hiruzen was slightly stunned. Moreover, Yagyu Tsuki looked at the people of Team 7 and said with disgust, if you want to be an excellent ninja, don't learn from this stinky old man. He likes to talk some useless nonsense all day long. No wonder he has no luck with women at such an old age. Yagyu Tsuki. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face sank. Yagyu Tsuki is so arrogant. He just knows how to fool around all day long and does whatever he wants there. Useless nonsense. Bullshit. The will of fire is the core of the village and the dream of the first Hokage that has continued to this day, but Yagyu Tsuki actually said that the will of fire is useless nonsense. It's ridiculous. Are you kidding me? Our Team 7 is going to take on missions. Who wants to listen to a stinky old man talking nonsense? Yagyu Tsuki hugged the three members of the Team 7 and said with a slight smile, right. Talking some useless bullshit. I need to get points every minute. Stinky old man. It really wastes my time to train the Team 7 and get points for these cash cows. The Team 7 will be promoted soon. The sign in rewards after promotion should be stronger than before, right? I'll just look forward to it a little. Quote. Everyone in the Team 7 didn't speak. Uchiha Sasuke blushed slightly, and turned his head away awkwardly without looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen. He just thought as Yagyu Tsuki said, what kind of bullshit is the will of fire? He, Uchiha Sasuke, only wants power, enough power to fulfill his revenge ambitions. Will of fire. Can this thing gain power? Instead of talking nonsense, it would be better to assign some difficult tasks directly. Hokage-sama is right. Haruno Sakura did not follow Yagyu Tsuki's nonsense, but bowed slightly politely. She seemed to be listening carefully, but she was actually complaining fiercely in her heart. What a joke. B******************. D. Who wants to listen to your lecture? Hurry up and give some tasks that Team 7 can complete, so that I can show off to Ino Pig after completing the tasks. Uzumaki Naruto pushed his forehead protector, with a bright and sunny smile on his face, and said in a firm tone, "Third generation grandpa, I am the man who wants to become Hokage, please give our Team 7 some difficult tasks." Sarutobi Hiruzen could vaguely guess what Team 7 was thinking at the moment. The young seedlings of Team 7 are about to be led astray by Yagyu Tsuki. Yagyu Tsuki, stop messing around. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned slightly, his voice was filled with anger. He was well known for his good temper in the 5 great nations, but even a person with a good temper could not tolerate being messed up by Yagyu Tsuki. If he had the temper of the second Hokage, he would definitely turn against Yagyu Tsuki on the spot. There is a C-rank escort mission, during which we will encounter some bandits. Although it is the first time for Team 7 to perform a mission, there is no problem with this escort mission. Sarutobi Hiruzen suppressed his anger and picked up the mission scroll and threw it to Yagyu Tsuki. Escort. Yagyu Tsuki played with the mission scroll. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the door and said gently, "Please come in, Mr. Dasna." 40. Hitting the client. Yagyu Tsuki's commission. Everyone looked at the door, and saw a short old man wearing a simple gray linen vest, dressed like a fisherman or farmer, and walked into the office drunkenly with a bottle of wine in his hand. Yagyu Tsuki sipped his lollipop and looked at Dasna who walked in. Dasna. The Land of Waves. I just wanted to take a random mission, but I was able to catch up with the mission of the Land of Waves. In other words, this mission will meet Zabuza Momochi, an A-level rebel ninja from the Mist Village and one of the 7 ninja swordsmen. And Mizuno Tsuki Haku who has the ice release bloodline limit. It should be very interesting. It is also a good opportunity to train the strength of a group of tool people. Get points. C-level mission. Everyone in Team 7 was excited, and everyone began to look forward to the C-level escort mission. As a genin who just graduated from the ninja school, being able to receive a C-level mission is far beyond the same class. The reason why Hokage-sama entrusted the C-rank mission to Team 7, which was carrying out the mission for the first time, should be because of Mr. Yagyu's face. This is the client, Mr. Dasna. Sarutobi Hiruzen introduced Dasna to Team 7, and then introduced Team 7 to Dasna. This is the ninja who accepted the commission to escort you. Hello, Mr. Dasna. Haruno Sakura smiled and greeted politely, and a sense of tension gradually surged in his heart. C-rank mission. Can I really do it? Almost all missions above D rank need to be completed outside the village. At the beginning of C-rank missions, you will encounter some bandits, or even some powerful wandering ninjas. Although I am looking forward to completing difficult missions and then happily showing off to Ino Pig. But, can I really do it? Dasna looked at Team 7, then burped and said drunkenly, "These little brats look weak." Hiccup. Can they really send me to Hiccup Wave Country safely? Are you the client, Hashizune? Uzumaki Naruto pinched his nose because of the smell of alcohol, and looked at the drunken Dasna with a puzzled look. It stinks. It smells so strong. Obviously, when Yagyu-sensei is drunk, he smells good, but why does the old man smell bad when he is drunk? Idiot. My name is Dasna. Haruno Sakura glared at Naruto unhappily. The black-haired kid looks very reliable, and the pink-haired one looks okay. Dasna took a big sip of alcohol, looked at Uchiha Sasuke, and then looked at Haruno Sakura. Finally, Dasna looked at Uzumaki Naruto seriously, looking at Naruto's fox-like face, and said with disdain, "Is this fool also a ninja? Go home and drink milk, little brat." Humph. Uchiha Sasuke sneered, glanced at Uzumaki Naruto arrogantly, and his eyes were full of sarcasm. That's right. How could a super idiot like Naruto be compared with me? Stupid. Idiot. Uzumaki Naruto's expression was stiff, and raging anger gradually burned in his eyes. He pounced on Dasna like a fox with frizzled hair. Hole. I don't care if you are the client or someone else, I must teach you a lesson today and let you know how powerful I am. Hole. How dare you call me a fool? I am the man who wants to be Hokage. I hate it most when others look down on me. What's more, the client actually said that Sasuke, that arrogant guy, is more reliable than me. What a joke. Sakura-chan is fine, but how can Sasuke be more reliable than me? Haruno Sakura grabbed Uzumaki Naruto in a panic, glared at Naruto angrily, and blamed him. Naruto, calm down, we have to respect the client, hurting the client will affect the reputation of the village. If Naruto really beat up the client, who would dare to entrust Team 7 to do a mission in the future? Besides, the Hokage is still watching, and hurting the client will be punished by the Hokage. The most important thing is, hurting the client is a taboo for ninjas. The client is a consuming customer, how can an employee hit a customer? Let me go, Sakura-chan, let me go, I'm going to teach this old man a lesson, I'll beat this guy up with a few punches. Uzumaki Naruto struggled violently, glaring at Dasna angrily. Who is the team leader? Is it you? Dasna ignored Uzumaki Naruto, glanced at the entire office, and finally stopped his sight on Yagyu Tsuki. This white-haired guy should be the team leader, right? He has a good-looking face and a slender figure, but he is leaning lazily on the sofa with his legs crossed, and there is a faint frivolous smile on his face, giving people a very frivolous and unreliable feeling. He is not wearing a ninja forehead protector representing his identity, nor is he wearing a ninja uniform representing the village. He is holding a lollipop in his mouth. Are you kidding me? He is still eating lollipops at such an age. Go home and drink milk. This white-haired guy looks very weak. He should be the kind of frivolous scumbag who spends all day in the tavern, drinking and picking up girls, right? Yagyu Tsuki chuckled lightly. It's me. Dasna staggered to Yagyu Tsuki drunkenly, looked at Yagyu Tsuki while drinking, and said, You look weak. You don't feel like a ninja at all. You look more like the type who hangs out in the tavern all day. Hiccup. Tricking women into spending money on you. A handsome guy of your level. Hiccup. Making women happy. Hiccup. Should make more money than being a ninja. He didn't deliberately belittle Yagyu Tsuki. All he said was the truth of his first impression. He really thought Yagyu Tsuki was very handsome. He should be the kind of playboy who was very good at teasing women. He felt from the bottom of his heart that Yagyu Tsuki was very weak, and he was completely not as reliable as other Jōnin. Is this white-haired guy really reliable? Quote. Everyone in the audience sighed in their hearts. Dasna is really good at judging people. Yagyu teacher really likes it, hanging out in the tavern and drinking with big sisters, but Yagyu teacher has never cheated women of their money, instead he spends money on himself and spends lavishly. Yagyu Tsuki waved his hands and said casually, It's okay, I'm invincible. I feel like you're not as reliable as that black-haired kid. Dasna took a sip of wine and glanced at the cold Uchiha Sasuke next to him. Yagyu Tsuki slapped Dasna with a backhand slap, got up and sipped his lollipop lightly and said, Sorry, there's a fly. Although Yagyu Tsuki didn't use much force, Dasna was still stunned. He climbed up and covered his swollen face, looking at Yagyu Tsuki with a confused face. I knew it. Everyone in Team 7 was dumbfounded. Even Uzumaki Naruto, who had just clamored to beat Dasna, was looking at Dasna who was beaten and flew away. I was just talking in anger, but Yagyu-sensei, you really hit him. Yagyu Tsuki looked at the confused Dasna, smiled slightly and said, I wish you die tonight, you old man. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed secretly. Dasna, why do you mess with Yagyu Tsuki when you have nothing to do? Let alone you, a small client. Yagyu Tsuki doesn't even take me, the Hokage, seriously. Dasna covered his red and swollen face, frowned and looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen. Hokage, can you please change a more reliable Jōnin? This white-haired guy's attitude is too bad. There is no other Jōnin to be trusted. I'm afraid that if he really encounters any danger, this white-haired guy should abandon the client and run away. Sarutobi Hiruzen had a headache. Don't get me wrong, old man. Yagyu Tsuki walked in front of Dasna, grabbed Dasna's gray hair, and said indifferently and proudly, the 30,000 reward you gave can only mobilize 3 Jōnins at most. I just accompany the Jōnins to do the mission. If you want to find a Jōnin to escort you, you can, but you need to prepare a reward of 200,000 first, which is the price for a special Jōnin escort. Jōnin will be more expensive. I can also escort you alone. No matter who the enemy is, you can eat and drink along the way and return to the land of waves very comfortably. Yagyu Tsuki looked down at Dasna and said lightly, but you must prepare at least 10 million, which is the price for appointing me to do the mission. He only accepts missions above 1 million, and almost all of them are to capture rebel ninjas, and even accept missions to capture S-level rebel ninjas, and each mission can be completed perfectly. Of course, there are also many complaints. Many clients have complained about Yagyu Tsuki, saying that Yagyu Tsuki has a bad attitude and will hit the client. But Yagyu Tsuki is very powerful, and is called the God of Ninja, of the new era by the 5 major countries. Moreover, even if he is tasked with capturing an S-level rebel ninja, he can complete it perfectly in a short time. So if you want to entrust him with a task alone, you need to first pay a sky-high task reward, and then the bounty for solving the rebel ninja will also belong to him. Of course, although Yagyu Tsuki's commission is very expensive, in the eyes of the top leaders of the major ninja villages in the 5 major countries, as long as they can solve the S-level or A-level rebel ninja, even if they spend a sky-high commission, it is worth it. Open black lens bracket 41 close black lens bracket accept the mission and Danzo appears. 200,000. 10 million. Dasna's eyes widened gradually, looking at Yagyu Tsuki in disbelief. He was shocked by the sky-high reward Yagyu Tsuki said, and was almost sobered up. 200,000 is the price for a special Jōnin escort. That means, if you want to specify a normal Jōnin escort, the price will be more expensive. To be honest, 200,000 commissions are reasonable and still within the normal commission price range. But 10 million. 10 million is outrageous. There is no ninja in the world who dares to ask for a reward of 10 million directly, right? Let alone 10 million. I don't even have 200,000. The wave country is very poor now, and it is even difficult to get a meal. It is like a wandering refugee country. The 30,000 commissions prepared this time are all bleeding. Because there is no place to make money in the wave country at present, all the profitable fishing and shipping ports have been occupied by a black-hearted company. Dasna used to be quite rich, but all his property was used to build the bridge. The 30,000 yuan in hiring money that he was going to commission from the ninja this time was his last hope and lifeline. But the problem is, this frivolous white-haired man with a bad attitude actually dared to ask for 10 million yuan in reward directly. Why? Outrageous. Very outrageous. Hokage-sama. Dasna looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen. He really couldn't believe the commission price of 10 million yuan, because the commission money for the mission of elite Jōnin was only 500,000 yuan, but this white-haired man actually dared to ask for 10 million yuan. Yeah. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a puff of cigarette, exhaled a pale smoke, and nodded slightly to answer Dasna's question. Although Yagyu Tsuki, this brat, has a bad attitude and always does whatever he wants, his strength is there anyway. Yagyu Tsuki's appearance fee is 10 million yuan. Ordinary Jōnin don't have such outrageous prices for missions, but Yagyu Tsuki's missions are all A-level and above super difficult missions, and all missions can end perfectly. He can even capture S-level rebels alive. The information in the brain of S-level rebels is priceless, and it is the confidential information of each village that cannot be measured by money. So 10 million is reasonable. 1.10 million. Everyone in Team 7 was very confused. Yagyu teacher likes to play around every day, just like a child who has not grown up. Is such a lazy man with a casual personality really that powerful? Yagyu teacher is a Jōnin, right? The starting price of Jōnin mission rewards is 500,000, but Yagyu teacher can actually get a reward of 10 million, and the Hokage-sama also agrees with this 10 million reward. Why is this? Is Yagyu teacher's strength better than other Jōnin? Team 7 has never seen other Jōnin take action, and they think Yagyu Tsuki's strength should be the strength of most Jōnin. How much is 10 million? It should be enough to eat a lot of ramen. Uzumaki Naruto counted his fingers in confusion. He knew that 10,000 was enough to eat ramen 5 times, but he had no idea what 10 million meant. Idiot. Haruno Sakura cursed inwardly. How many ramen can you eat with 10 million? You can just hire someone to make ramen for you every day. Since the price of Yagyu-sensei's mission is 10 million, you can rest assured if you do a few missions. So, where did Yagyu-sensei's money go? I don't have 200,000. Dasna stared at Yagyu Tsuki stubbornly. He thought it was nonsense for Yagyu Tsuki to ask for 10 million mission commission money. How could a Jōnin dare to ask for 10 million commission money? Who does this white-haired man think he is? Does he think he is the Kage of the 5 major ninja villages? Why would a man who seems lazy and unreliable ask for 10 million commission money? I think this guy is deliberately raising the price to make things difficult for me. Hokage-sama actually agreed. It is really incomprehensible to say this. Stinky old man, if you don't have money, don't be so willful. Just be obedient. Yagyu Tsuki patted Dasna's head and said with a faint chuckle, as the teacher of class 7, I will accompany the brats on this mission. My head is worth 1 billion on the black market of the ninja world, is it okay to ask for 10 million pocket money? Besides, Sarutobi Asuma, that little bootlicker, is worth 30 million on the black market. Sell Asuma when you are out of money. Of course, I am kidding. But no matter what, I have to accept this mission, because it can improve the strength of Team 7 and gain more growth points. Since you, an old man, have no money, then pay with your body, and I will give you my bag. Yagyu Tsuki took out an oversized backpack like a magic trick, and then threw the backpack in front of Dasna. Thank you for your trouble. Dasna's mouth twitched slightly, looking at the backpack in front of him that was bigger than a person. He felt angry and aggrieved, and he had to say sorry to others for helping others with their bags. And he felt that Yagyu Tsuki was not as reliable as other Jōnin. But there was no way, what could he do without money? Quote. Everyone in Team 7 looked at the backpack in front of Dasna, which was like a small mountain, and everyone felt speechless. Grab the wallet of a child and let the old man take the bag. Yagyu-sensei is too despicable. Moreover, he actually let the task client take the bag. Which ninja can do such a thing? Only Yagyu-sensei. Yagyu-sensei played with the task scroll, looked at Dasna indifferently, and said, the task you entrusted is AC level escort task, right? The task content is to escort Mr. Dasna to the land of waves, and you may encounter some bandits during the period. Sarutobi Hiruzen flipped through the task scroll and looked at the task entrustment content in the scroll. Escort Dasna back to the land of waves, and solve a few bandits during the period. There is no mention of ninjas in the entrustment content, so this is a completely C-level task. Yagyu-sensei glanced at Sarutobi Hiruzen and said speechlessly, stinky old man, I didn't ask you, you like to interrupt so much, can Danzo stand it? Stinky boy. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face turned black. Yes, it's a C-level mission. Dasna looked at Lu Shungyu's indifferent eyes, felt guilty and moved away in panic. Really? This amount of money is reasonable to deal with bandits? Lu Shungyu bent down, grabbed Dazna's hair, and said indifferently in Dazna's ear, but if you encounter an enemy beyond the scope of sea-level missions, Shunin will count as 10 million, Jōnin will count as 50 million, and blood limit ninjas will be counted separately. If you encounter an enemy above Shunin, my students may be in danger, and I will raise the price at that time. If you refuse to pay the reward at that time, please wait for death. No problem. The stinky old man who is full of lies, as an excellent time traveler, knows clearly the hidden content of this mission. To be honest, if Sister Honghong leads the team to accept this mission, it is almost certain that they will die if they meet the Mist Ninja Demon. The stinky old man's behavior of lying about the content of the mission is naughty enough, so let me take this opportunity to squeeze the Kingdom of Waves dry. The land of waves is very poor now, but it will be very rich after the bridge is built, because the bridge can open up the markets of the 5 major countries. Let me raise the price and squeeze them hard. Dazna gritted his teeth and said, no problem. Could it be that Yagyu Tsuki knew something? How is it possible? If Yagyu Tsuki knew the truth, how could he accept this mission and even take the kids of Team 7 to die? Does Yagyu Tsuki have some strength? I'm afraid this guy is very weak, and everyone will die at that time. I refuse this mission. Uzumaki Naruto must stay in the village. The indifferent and low voice resounded throughout the venue, and Shimura Danzo walked slowly into the office with a cane. Uzumaki Naruto is the container of 9 tails, and must be kept in the village for strict supervision. If possible, Naruto must be cultivated into a humanoid weapon who only wants to protect the village. And Uchiha Sasuke is the bargaining chip to control Itachi. If something goes wrong with Sasuke, Itachi might be out of my control. Everything is for the village. Open black lens bracket 42 close black lens bracket we are God, pain. This feeling, Uchiha Sasuke's pupils shrank, and his eyes instantly turned into scarlet Tomo Sharingan. Feeling Shimura Danzo behind him, a feeling of panic surged in his heart, and his heart gradually began to beat faster. Who is this person? What a terrible breath. He can actually give me a sense of oppression like the power of Sharingan. Could it be? He is from the Uchiha clan. Hey, Grandpa, who are you? What do you mean I have to stay in the village? I am the man who wants to be the Hokage. Just leave this mission to me. Uzumaki Naruto patted his chest before he finished speaking. Idiot, shut up. Uchiha Sasuke raised his hand to stop Naruto, with an ugly face, staring at Shimura Danzo with Sharingan. Dangerous. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. This guy gave me the same feeling as Itachi at that time. Haruno Sakura's pretty face was pale and colorless. She carefully stole a glance at Shimura Danzo, then looked at the vortex Naruto and shook her head, saying, Naruto, stop talking. She also felt that Shimura Danzo was very dangerous, and even looking at him seemed to make her lose consciousness. Shimura Danzo glanced at Uchiha Sasuke lightly, looked at Sasuke's scarlet Tomo Sharingan, and said in a low and calm voice, your eyesight is far from good. Uchiha Sasuke gritted his teeth and said nothing. A shut-in would actually go out. If you have time to talk nonsense here, you should smell the Hokage cloak and fantasize. Yagyu Tsuki touched his chin and looked at Shimura Danzo's right eye wrapped in gauze lightly. Danzo's right eye wrapped in gauze did have a very strong chakra, but judging from the strength of the right eye's chakra, the pupil power should not have fully recovered. Distinguished heavenly gods. Enjoying the title of the strongest pupil power of the Uchiha clan, he can force hypnosis to change other people's minds. Interesting. Want. Hypnosis skills are a man's romance. Using the ability of hypnosis to force others' minds to protect the village is more or less a waste, so let me use it to hypnosis those women who have grudges against me. Lend me your eyes for a few days, and I'll return them to you after use. Yagyu Tsuki raised his hand and grabbed Shimura Danzo's right eye. Yagyu Tsuki, don't mess around. Shimura Danzo opened Yagyu Tsuki's hand and looked at Yagyu Tsuki indifferently, with a flash of warning in his eyes. Lend you a few days. How dare you say that? Yagyu Tsuki suddenly grabbed Shimura Danzo's neck, looked down at Danzo's eyes indifferently, and said in an arrogant tone, who is messing around? Get out of here in 3 seconds. Do you want to make me angry? This chakra, Izanagi. Old Danzo was quite cautious, and he actually activated Izanagi directly. Is he used as a stand? So funny. I don't have time to care about old Danzo for now. I will deal with Danzo after I am done with this period of time. After the death of the old 3rd generation, the top management really needs a reshuffle. Let Danzo and the 3rd generation die together. Shimura Danzo was not afraid of Yagyu Tsuki, but looked into Yagyu Tsuki's eyes and said in a low and calm voice, I am thinking about the village. Uzumaki Naruto is the container of 9 tails and must stay in the village. Uchiha Sasuke is a bargaining chip and must also stay in the village. Everything is to protect the village. Only I can protect the village more effectively, and only I am qualified to be the village's Hokage. If there was no 2nd generation test, I would definitely be able to become Hokage, but it was because of that test that I missed the opportunity to become Hokage. Damn it. In theory, I am the Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep puff of cigarette, exhaled a pale smoke, looked at Shimura Danzo fiercely, and said in a deep voice, Danzo, step down. This mission is my decision. You are not qualified to interfere with this decision. He understood Shimura Danzo's intention and his concept of preventing Uzumaki Naruto from Team 7 from leaving the village to prevent Nine Tails from being snatched away by people from other villages. Everything is for more effective protection of the village. But, Yagyu Tsuki is the teacher of Team 7, and he must give Yagyu Tsuki a face. And, letting Naruto become a ninja to do missions is also a disguised form of compensation. I owe Naruto. I owe the fourth generation too much. Alas, Shimura Danzo hasn't finished speaking yet. Sarutobi Hiruzen stood up and stared at Shimura Danzo fiercely, and said in a deep voice, Danzo, I am the Hokage. Sarutobi, you will regret it. Shimura Danzo's face sank, and he looked deeply at Yagyu Tsuki, then turned around and slammed the door and left. Yagyu Tsuki, you will regret it too. When the old man's right eye fully recovers its pupil power, I will definitely force Yagyu Tsuki to change his mind first, and then let Yagyu Tsuki help me become a new Hokage. Just bear it for the time being. Yagyu Tsuki's mouth corners moved slightly, and finally couldn't help but turned his head and covered his mouth and laughed, PFF'd. Quite funny. Danzo old dog, I am also enduring. Let's try to be patient together, and we'll go on a date after this busy period. I'm going to get Danzo's right eye, and the hypnosis skill is the most direct romance. Uchiha Sasuke saw Danzo leave, and he took a long breath as if he had taken off a heavy burden, tugged at the corner of Yagyu Tsuki's clothes, and asked urgently, Yagyu teacher, who was that person just now? Artificial man. Yagyu Tsuki answered casually. Danzo old dog is an artificial man, and almost all his body is assembled organs, whether it is the arm cultivated by the first generation cells or the large number of Sharingan, all are organs assembled the day after tomorrow. What? Everyone in Team 7 was stunned. Artificial man. What the hell? Let's go. Let's go to the land of waves, remember to prepare snacks. Yagyu Tsuki left the office. What's the point of preparing snacks, we're going to carry out a mission. Haruno Sakura complained that Yagyu teacher even asked to bring snacks, is this treating the mission as a spring outing? All members of Team 7 chased after Yagyu Tsuki. Dasna carried Yagyu Tsuki's big bag and quickly chased after Yagyu Tsuki who was walking away. Soon, led by Yagyu Tsuki, Team 7 escorted Dasna out of the village. At this time, in the land of waves. In a secret room. Haven't you found Dasna yet? Momochi Zabuza crossed his legs and sat on the soft sofa in a crazy manner, with a sharp and terrifying beheading sword placed beside him. Shua, a figure appeared out of thin air, with his black hair scattered behind him, wearing the special uniform of Mist Ninja Anbu, wearing a white mask representing Mist Ninja Anbu, the skin faintly exposed was as white as snow, and the whole body exuded a faint fragrance. He is Mizuno Haku. Mizunatsuki Haku said, nothing has been found yet. Momochi Zabuza grabbed the bottle, took a big sip of wine and said coldly, keep sending people to look for him. I must kill that guy. In order to have enough funds for revenge, he must get the commission for solving Dasna's problem. Suddenly, the space in the room twisted into a spiral, and several figures appeared with the spiral space. Mizunatsuki Haku stood in front of Momochi Zabuza with extremely fast instant body. Who are you? Momochi Zabuza did not stand up, but grabbed the beheading sword at hand, looking at the people who suddenly appeared coldly and arrogantly. Suddenly appeared, time and space related abilities. We are gods, Pain. Pain had a blank expression on his face, without any emotional fluctuations in his body, and looked at Zabuza calmly with the circle-shaped Rinnegan. At the same time, all the 6 Paths clones used Rinnegan to look at Zabuza without any emotional fluctuations. There were no excessive words, nor any self-introductions. It's God, it's Pain. The 5 clones headed by Pain did not burst out a bit of chakra, but just stared at Zabuza indifferently. Even so, they gave Zabuza an unprecedented sense of oppression since he was born. It was like an ant seeing an elephant, like a person looking up at God. 43 Akatsuki's cooperation, the god of ninja is worth killing. Pain, I haven't heard of him. Do you have anything to do with me? Momochi Zabuza was stunned for a moment, then pointed at Pain with a sharp beheading sword and said coldly and arrogantly, if you have nothing to do, get out of here. Don't bother me. Pain, I have never heard of Pain's name. Judging from the forehead protector, he should be a rebel ninja from Rain Shinobi village. But in any case, these 6 people dressed similarly have indescribable terrible strength. But Pain doesn't seem to have any killing intentions. If possible, avoid fighting. After all, the current focus is on the plan to obtain funds. The white paper rose from the ground like a tsunami, and all the paper pieces danced and condensed together, and finally turned into a tall and proud cold and beautiful queen. The white tiger of Akatsuki Konan. Leave it to me. Konan floated in the sky with wings formed by white paper, looking down at Mizunatsuki Haku and others indifferently and coldly. She was like an angel high above. She knew Pain, or should I say Uzumaki Nagato. Nagato Rinnegan's pupil power has not yet fully recovered. Using the power of Pain's 6 paths will affect the recovery speed. If the Rinnegan's pupil power recovers too slowly, it will affect the final plan to capture the tailed beast. This guy, Momochi Zabuza frowned and stared coldly at Konan above. He had not been able to notice that there was still a person hiding in the dark until just now. Yeah, Pain responded, and then all Pain's 6 paths disappeared out of thin air. Be safe, Conan. But he couldn't say this. What do you mean by this? Are you teasing me? Momochi Zabuza's expression was extremely cold, with a strong murderous intent in his eyes. He held the beheading sword and slashed at Conan in the sky. Pain disappeared without finishing a word, and then handed it over to the woman who suddenly appeared. What does this mean? Are you looking down on me? Damn it. Ong! A sharp cold light flashed past, and the whole room was cut like tofu. Conan's delicate body was split into two with the room, turning into a large white paper wave. All the paper pieces condensed together, and Conan floated in the air with white wings, looking down at Zabuza indifferently and coldly without any injury. Hidan appeared beside Zabuza in an instant, grabbed Zabuza's wrist holding the knife, and said with an arrogant expression, "Hey, you are annoying. If you keep talking too much, I will cook you into pieces and offer you to the evil god." What a fast speed. Momochi Zabuza's heart trembled, and a trace of solemnity flashed in his eyes. He wanted to pull back the hand held by Hidan, but he couldn't pull it back as if it was held by a pair of pliers. He didn't see Hidan's movement trajectory at all, and he didn't even notice Hidan's existence just now. The strength gap is huge. Please let go. Don't touch Mr. Zabuza. Mizunatsuki Haku appeared beside Hidan in an instant, and grabbed Hidan's wrist with her white and tender hand. The slender palm burst out with a strong force, making Hidan's wrist ache. You women are sick. The one who asked others to let go should let go first. Be careful, I curse you. Hidan's eyes were burning with anger, holding the huge blood-red sickle behind him, intending to fight with Mizunatsuki Haku here. Kakuzu appeared out of thin air, grabbed the blood-red sickle behind Hidan, and said in a deep voice, "Hidan, calm down, we are going to talk about cooperation. I will curse all of you." A pash appeared on Hidan's forehead, and a burst of anger ignited in his heart, but he did not act immediately, but loosened his hand holding the sickle. Quote. Mizunatsuki Haku saw Hidan stop, and then loosened his hand holding Hidan, staring at Hidan and Kakuzu vigilantly, and at the same time vigilant Conan behind him. Cooperation. Momochi Zabuza frowned. Dasna entrusted a ninja guard to protect him, and the person protecting him is Yagyu Tsuki. Conan looked down at Mizuno Tsuki indifferently and said coldly, "You are responsible for delaying Yagyu Tsuki for 3 minutes, and we will use this opportunity to capture Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. The strength of the Mist Ninja Demon is too weak. The person she is looking for is Mizuno Tsuki Haku. According to her judgment, Mizuno Tsuki Haku is close to the weak cage level, and the domineering ice release bloodline Genkei can effectively control the enemy, so it should be no problem to delay Yagyu Tsuki for 3 minutes. Currently, Uzumaki Nagato is recovering his pupil power, and the members of the Akatsuki organization are also busy dealing with things. Currently, only Kakuzu and Hidan can perform the task, and Nine-Tails Jinchuriki rarely leaves the village once, so how can they easily let go of this opportunity? Therefore, for the time being, we have to use Mizuno Tsuki Haku. Yagyu Tsuki. That guy is called the god of ninjas in the new era, right? Since it is a cooperation, let me ask you what the benefits are. Momochi Zabuza sat on the sofa with his legs crossed, looking coldly at the angel-like Conan above. The person guarding Dasna is Yagyu Tsuki. Although I have never seen Yagyu Yu, any ninja must have heard of Yagyu Yu. Yagyu Yu has the power to destroy everything in the world with one strike, and is called the ninja god of the new era by the 5 major countries. Things have become troublesome. I'll give you money. If you complete the task, I will pay you 1 billion, and Yagyu Yu's bounty will also belong to you. Conan's fingers moved slightly, and a large number of paper pieces danced. All the paper pieces solidified on the ground and finally turned into a black suitcase. Conan said, "This is a deposit of 300 million. As long as you can hold Yagyu Yu for 3 minutes, I will pay you the remaining 700 million no matter what." Quote. Kakuzu's mouth twitched slightly. That's the money I saved by trying to catch ninjas in exchange for bounties. This prodigal woman. 300 million deposit. Momochi Zabuza kicked the suitcase open, looked at the large number of neatly arranged paper pieces inside, and picked up a stack of them at random to pad. These 300 million are real money. It doesn't matter what Nine-Tails Jinchuriki is. Although I haven't fought with Yagyu Tsuki, if I can stop Yagyu Tsuki for 3 minutes, I can get a sky-high reward of 1 billion, and Yagyu Tsuki's bounty will also belong to me. Stopping for 3 minutes is easy, it's just giving money away for free. What's more, Bai is an excellent tool, with a perfect ice escape blood limit. Bai and I can even kill Yagyu Tsuki together. Dasna doesn't matter anymore. This 1 billion reward plus Yagyu Tsuki's bounty, a full 2 billion astronomical figure, is enough for me to make a comeback. The advantage is on me, and God helps me. Ha 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 ha. Momochi Zabuza laughed wildly, and his crazy laughter was accompanied by cold murderous intent, and the sound resounded throughout the venue. Delay for 3 minutes. Who do you think I am? Listen to me, I am Zabuza Momochi, one of the 7 ninja swordsmen, known as the Mist Ninja Demon. The god of ninjas is worth killing. Zabuza Momochi held the beheading sword, exuding a cold killing intent. Conan said coldly, happy cooperation. In the name of God, it must succeed. After saying that, Conan turned into a white piece of paper and disappeared out of thin air. I will remember you, woman, I will curse you no matter what. Hidan looked at Mizuno Haku arrogantly, then walked out of the room carrying a blood-red sickle. He is a man. Kakuzu glanced at the 300 million in the suitcase, twitched his mouth with pain, and then used the instant body to disappear directly out of thin air. What? Is this true? Hidan was stunned. Open black lens bracket 44 close black lens bracket Tsunade comes to Haruno Sakura and he completes the first stage. Mr. Zabuza, are you really going to agree to them? Mizuno Haku glanced at the 300 million cash on the ground, recalling the strength of Conan and others just now, whether it was Pain's six paths who appeared first, or Kakuzu who appeared last. All of them were ridiculously strong, and it could be judged from chakra alone that they were all real cage-level masters. Since those people were all real cage-level masters, they were obviously very strong, but they still wanted to find someone to cooperate. They even gave a sky-high reward of 10 billion. This mission is probably more difficult than expected. Yagyu Tsuki, the god of ninjas in the new era, should be very strong, right? Momochi Zabuza said coldly, ninjas are tools to complete the mission. Abandon those useless ideas and think about the enemy's strength. There is no point. Our only goal is to complete the mission. Complete the mission and get the reward. Ninjas are tools without emotions. That's all. He must get 10 billion in rewards no matter what. This money is enough for him to complete what he has always wanted to do. He fights for his dream, and it doesn't matter who the enemy is. What's more, this time it's like picking up 1 billion for free. If you stop Yagyu Tsuki for 3 minutes, you can easily get 1 billion. Is there any easier way to make money than this? No. Yes. Mizunatsuki Haku said, and the group of people from Hongyu. Mizunatsuki Haku disappeared in an instant. At this time, Konoha village. Hokage's office. Yagyu took the 7th team out of the village to do the mission. After a moment of hesitation, Yuhi Kurenai raised a beautiful smile. Very good. At first, I thought Yagyu Tsuki didn't plan to care about the life and death of the 7th team, but since he would lead the team out of the village to do the mission, it means that Yagyu Tsuki is still very responsible. The Yagyu brother who used to have a bad temper and liked to make trouble has also begun to change towards maturity. At least he has the demeanor of a teacher. When Yagyu Tsuki returns to the village after completing the mission, I will make some delicious food as a reward for him. Yagyu brother is out of the village. Hyuga Hinata puffed her lips slightly, feeling a sense of loss in her heart, and put the palm-sized exquisite gift box into her pocket. She bought special products for Yagyu on this mission, and she was thinking about sharing the joy of completing the mission with Yagyu when she gave her special products. Wait quietly for Yagyu brother to return to the village. Report to Hokage, one of the legendary Sannin, Suna. Anbu Ninja appeared instantly, knelt on one knee and reported respectfully, but before he finished speaking. Bang! The whole Hokage building shook violently, the door of the office was blown away directly, and cracks appeared on the walls of the room. Everyone in the audience was stunned. In the spotlight of everyone, a blonde beauty with a delicate and cute face, a very tall and proud figure, wearing a green dress with the word, Gamble, embroidered on it, walked into the office with a fierce momentum as the giant ru on her chest trembled. Tsunade. Even Sarutobi Hiruzen was stunned. Seeing Tsunade walking into the office aggressively, he never thought that Tsunade would return to the village. Tsunade-sama. All the Anbu's faces changed drastically. They were just about to stand in front of the Hokage, but after hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen say that the man was Tsunade, they all breathed a sigh of relief. I thought it was Yagyu Tsuki who came back. Tsunade-sama. Yuhi Kurenai was slightly startled and looked at Tsunade who walked into the office. Her face was delicate and cute, her figure was tall and proud, her snow-white skin was very delicate, she was wearing a green coat embroidered with the word, Gamble, especially the 2 huge lumps that were enough to make all women jealous. No matter how you look at it, this is the strongest medical ninja in the whole ninja world, Tsunade-sama, one of the legendary Sannin. She had seen Tsunade before when she was a child, but after so long, Tsunade had not changed at all. Whether it was her face or her figure, she was as tender as an 18-year-old. Tsunade raised her round and plump legs, kicked the sofa in front of her fiercely, looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen fiercely, and said proudly, Teacher Sarutobi, where is the dead white-haired man? After the fierce battle that night, she rushed back to the village and must kill Yagyu. She can now be very sure that the dead white-haired man who suddenly appeared that night was the legendary ninja Yagyu. Dead white-haired man. Everyone in the audience, including the Anbu hiding in the dark, heard the name of dead white-haired man, and Yagyu's face with a playful and very irritating smile appeared in their minds. Dead white-haired man. Are you talking about Yagyu Tsuki? Wait a minute. Jiraiya-sama also has white hair, Hitaki Kakashi also has white hair, and many ninjas in the village have white hair. Who is the dead white-haired man that Tsunade-sama is talking about? Jiraiya is. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a puff of cigarette and exhaled a thick cloud of smoke. He thought Tsunade was talking about Jiraiya. After all, Tsunade had never seen Yagyu Tsuki, but he was interrupted before he finished speaking. Tsunade raised his white little hand and punched the wall hard. His voice was cold and he said, "Where is Yagyu Tsuki? Do you have something to do with him?" Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned slightly. Why is Tsunade in a hurry to find Yagyu Tsuki? Could it be related to the trapped escape calendar? But, Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at the cracked wall and sighed secretly in his heart. Tsunade still has such a bad temper. This kid's temper is very similar to that of the second Hokage. Alas, I'm used to it. I've even been broken by Tsunade before. Of course there is something. We should thank him for the good things he did. Tsunade's heroic smile was a little dangerous, and his white fists creaked. If it weren't for what Yagyu Tsuki did, she really never thought about returning to the village, because too many sad things have happened in this village. Thank you. Everyone in the audience was speechless. Is this Tsunade's attitude of thanking others? No matter how you look at it, it seems that he has a grudge against Yagyu Tsuki. Tsunade-sama. Kato Shizune ran into the office holding the pink pig. Seeing the office that was smashed and bumped, she was almost scared to death. Tsunade-sama, let's not be sure. How much money will it cost to compensate? Besides, this is the Hokage's office, right? Kato Shizune hurriedly bowed and apologized. I'm very sorry, Hokage-sama. Yuhi Kurenai looked at the aggressive Tsunade and asked in confusion, Sir Tsunade, do you have something to do with you? Judging from Tsunade's attitude, he should have a grudge against Yagyu, right? But Yagyu has not left the village for some time, and has not even met Tsunade. If they have not met, why would there be a grudge? Strange. Let's ask first. Tsunade frowned slightly, and then relaxed her eyebrows in a moment, looking at Yuhi Kurenai thoughtfully. After she returned to the village, she asked about Yagyu. Yagyu is a man with a bad personality and does whatever he wants, but he also has incredible power. He often goes to the tavern to find hostesses to drink, and he and Hikari Kurenai are childhood sweethearts. Said childhood sweethearts, Yuhi Kurenai is more like a sister who takes care of Yagyu. Tsunade waved her hands and said impatiently, nothing, I'm just going to ask him to handle some things. So annoying. Is it annoying to ask this question? What's the grudge or resentment with Yagyu Tsuki? Is this something that can be said? It's so embarrassing and shameful to say it out. She had met Yuhi Kurenai before. Yuhi Kurenai was a very good ninja, and her behavior was also very upright and polite. The good things that the dead white-haired man did, there was no need to blame Yuhi Kurenai. To be honest, she had a very bad impression of Yagyu Tsuki. Putting aside what happened that night, she said that Yagyu Tsuki was a scumbag with a casual personality who liked to play with women everywhere. That night should be Yagyu Tsuki's impulse, right? Just playing around. Yagyu Tsuki deserves death. Yagyu Tsuki led Team 7 out of the village to do a mission. If you have something to do with him, wait a while. The land of waves is still quite far from here. Even the knowledgeable Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't understand what the grudge between Tsunade and Yagyu Tsuki was, but it should be a small conflict that is easy to resolve. Then, with Tsunade's hot temper, a small matter turned into a big one. Lead the team. Tsunade snorted coldly and turned to leave the office. Shizune, let's go. The damn white-haired man is actually a teacher. Funny. I'm really sorry. Kato Shizune held the pink piglet, bowed to everyone in the audience in panic, and then turned and quickly chased after Tsunade. Lord Tsunade, where are we going? Tsunade said, the land of waves. The damn white-haired man, wait for me. I'm not done with you about what happened that night. With Tsunade's strong personality, how could he tolerate being easily defiled by Yagyu Tsuki? Everyone in the audience was confused, and the 8th team Inuzuka Kiba and others were even more confused. What is going on? Akamaru, who was lying on Inuzuka Kiba's head, looked at Tsunade and others who were gradually going away, tilted his head and shouted softly in a very humane way, Wong. The dog was also confused. Tsunade. 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 Hyuga Hinata hesitated for a moment, blushed and trotted after Tsunade. Tsunade paused, turned around and looked at the petite Hyuga Hinata, smiled and asked, is there anything? A child of the Hyuga clan. Quite cute. Yes, please, please. Hyuga Hinata took out a palm-sized exquisite gift box from her pocket, poked her fingers shyly, and hesitated for a long time without being able to finish her Hyuga words. Is it for me? Thank you. Tsunade took the gift box from Hinata's hand and gently touched Hinata's little head. When she was in the village, she often received gifts from female ninjas, and many female ninjas regarded her as a benchmark. Hyuga Hinata's cute face was flushed, and she poked her fingers shyly, and said in a soft and sticky voice, help me, give it to brother Yagyu. What? Kato Shizune was full of confusion, she didn't hear what Hyuga Hinata said at all. I'll give it to him for you. Tsunade's mouth twitched slightly, and a hint of embarrassment flashed in her eyes. She just thought Hinata was giving her a gift, but she never expected that he would ask her to help pass it on to the dead white-haired man. Damn it, Yagyu Tsuki actually bullied such a young Yumeli. This is for Tsunade-sama. Seeing Tsunade's embarrassment, Hyuga Hinata immediately took out a small bottle from her pocket, which contained a special healing medicine for the Hyuga clan. Yeah, Yagyu brother is very good. Hyuga Hinata put the bottle in Tsunade's palm, then turned around and ran towards Yuhi Kurenai with a red face. Cute little kid. Tsunade looked at the healing medicine in her hand and shook her head with a little amusement. As the strongest medical ninja in the whole ninja world, it was the first time someone gave her healing medicine. But no matter how you look at this bottle of healing medicine, it is a gift from Hyuga Hinata to prevent me from being embarrassed. Smart kid. Yuhi Kurenai seems to have a crush on Yagyu Tsuki, and Hyuga Hinata also seems to have a crush on Yagyu Tsuki. How many women did the damn white-haired man deceive? Yagyu Tsuki really deserves to die. Shizune, let's go. Tsunade put away his smile, his face gradually turned cold, and a trace of cold murderous intent flashed in his eyes. The land of waves, right. Yagyu Tsuki, let's settle accounts. Exclamation mark. Tsunade-sama. Kato Shizune was startled by Tsunade, and looked at the angry Tsunade with a worried face. It was the first time she saw Tsunade so angry. That night. What happened? Since that night, Tsunade-sama has always been angry. Tsunade and Kato Shizune left. Kurenai Yuhi looked at Tsunade's receding back, and said with a gentle smile, Tsunade-sama is very generous. Tsunade-sama has a hot temper. Ah. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep puff of cigarette, exhaled a pale cloud of smoke, and sighed with a headache. Tsunade's return to the village is worth celebrating, but he went back to the village to find Yagyu Tsuki, which is a bit of a headache. Tsunade has a hot temper, and Yagyu Tsuki has a weird temper. If there is a dispute between the two, it will be difficult to resolve, even in small matters. Because Tsunade has a bad temper, and Yagyu Tsuki has never thought of giving in to anything, but will deliberately provoke the other party to magnify the matter. Shihi Hongliu frowned slightly, and a sense of crisis surged in her heart. She said to herself with a worried face, is it okay? Yagyu brother. Hyuga Hinata looked worried. She just deliberately asked Tsunade to help pass on the gift, wanting to take this opportunity to see how much Tsunade hates Yagyu Tsuki. But, I didn't understand anything. What's there to worry about? It looks like they're arguing with my parents. It should be like a marital conflict. They'll make up on their own in a few days. Inuzuka Kiba touched the little head that had just finished eating and said with a smile, isn't it, Akamaru? Teacher Hong and Hinata seemed very worried. There's nothing to worry about with such a small matter, but it's not a kind comfort. Akamaru rubbed Inuzuka Kiba's head and shouted happily in a very human way, woof. Everyone in the audience was slightly startled. Marital conflict. It means that Tsunade is looking for Yagyu Tsuki aggressively. Is it a conflict between husband and wife? Yuhi Kurenai's eyes moved slightly. There seemed to be a thick black gas behind her. Her light and elegant smile gave people a sense of danger. She said, you performed very poorly in this mission. You were the worst performer in the 10th class. Write a 10,000-word self-review to me tonight. Husband and wife. You were really good at talking, brat. You are annoying. Even Hyuga Hinata was very angry. Husband and wife. Are Yagyu brother and Tsunade's sister husband and wife? How can this be? It was obviously me first. Hey, did I do something wrong? Inuzuka Kiba was confused. He, Zhao Nuohao, always felt that Teacher Hong and Hinata seemed to be staring at him with contempt. Aburame Shino pushed his sunglasses lightly and said, you idiot. Quote. What Hong and Hinata are worried about is the relationship between Tsunade-sama and Yagyu-sensei, and Inuzuka Kiba is so stupid that he adds fuel to the fire. The border of the land of fire. The sun is scorching and the sky is clear. Yagyu Tsuki covered his forehead with his hands, looked at the pale golden sun in the sky, and then glanced at Dasna next to him, complaining with disgust, it's so hot, so troublesome, I have to be a guard in such a hot day, it's so troublesome to be a guard. Quote. Compared to being a guard of a stinky old man here, he would rather play with beautiful girls at the beach. Alas. Dasna listened to Yagyu Tsuki's complaints and sighed in his heart. He was complained by Yagyu Tsuki a lot along the way. This white-haired man has a bad attitude, but he talks so much. Is it okay to be so lazy and casual? If you meet an enemy, I'm afraid you won't have time to react. Dasna turned his head to look at the distance, and saw Team 7 practicing with balloons while walking. When a ninja goes out of the village to do a mission, he must practice. It's okay, just a few bandits, just have some fun. Lu Shengyu ate potato chips, glanced at Dasna lightly, and said, right, stinky old man. Dasna's heart trembled, and he turned his head away with a guilty conscience, and said with a stiff upper lip, play. Suddenly, a crisp sound resounded throughout the venue, and the balloon in Haruno Sakura's palm burst. Although the sound of the balloon bursting was very subtle, it attracted everyone's attention at this time. Ding. Gained 10 growth points, and the current growth value is 95 points. Close black lens bracket. Smart kid. Lu Shengyu sipped the lollipop lightly, looking at Haruno Sakura in the distance thoughtfully, with a hint of admiration in his eyes. From early morning till now, it has not even been a day, but he has already completed the initial stage of Rasengan. Hirakuma is really beyond my expectation. Hirakuma is very talented in controlling chakra. In terms of controlling chakra alone, this kid is the most talented person among the 3 members of Team 7. 45. Obtain the territory, the infinite space. Teacher Yagyu, I have completed the first stage. Haruno Sakura ran to Yagyu quickly. Sakura's long pink hair was slightly messy, her fair and delicate face was a little haggard, and there were faint dark circles under her eyes. She had not slept since last night, and she was practicing hard while eating the soldiers' pills. She had never thought of surpassing Sasuke and others and becoming the first person in Class 7 to complete the initial training. She was just afraid that Yagyu would take the back door. Look, Haruno Sakura raised the balloon, and light blue chakra emerged from his palm. The chakra all flowed into the balloon, and then the whole balloon expanded hideously, and finally burst completely with a snap. Haruno Sakura's eyes were full of pride, and the corners of his mouth gradually began to rise, and finally a cute and beautiful smile bloomed. He raised his head and looked at Yagyu with a smile, like a child who got full marks on the exam and showed off to his parents. Still want to take the back door? Dream on. But I clearly didn't think about becoming the person with the fastest training progress, but why was there this uncontrollable excitement in my heart? Even if you show such a disgusting smile, you can't get any rewards. It's just releasing chakra. There's no need to be so complacent. Yagyu Tsuki glanced at Naruto and Sasuke in the distance, and said in a faint voice with a sense of sarcasm, deliberately raising the volume, but your talent in this area is far beyond those 2 idiots. Distant. Damn, just an ugly girl. Uchiha Sasuke squeezed the balloon hard, with anger in his eyes, and stared at Haruno Sakura's back with a gloomy face. Haruno Sakura was the first person in Team 7 to complete the initial stage of Rasengan. I was actually surpassed by Haruno Sakura. Unbelievable. A mere ugly girl can complete such a difficult training in a short time, and I can't release chakra properly now. Damn it. Are you kidding me? I am a genius of the Uchiha clan. Sakura-chan is amazing. Uzumaki Naruto exclaimed. He still couldn't make chakra flow to his palm, while Haruno Sakura had already completed the preliminary stage. Sakura-chan is amazing. I have to work harder. Oh, Haruno Sakura pouted slightly. What kind of person is that? I have been practicing all night until now. Will you die if you praise me a few times? What's wrong with praising me? Yagyu Tsuki touched Haruno Sakura's head and said with a faint chuckle, you did a good job this time. I thought that Hirakuma-chan would be the first person in Team 7 to complete the preliminary training of Rasengan, but to be honest, I never expected the progress to be so fast. Although the chakra released by Haruno Sakura was very weak and he couldn't release chakra all over his body like Hyuga Neji, it was indeed a commendable talent that he could release chakra at the beginning of practice. It's too late to praise me now. Haruno Sakura curled her lips, and a feeling of happiness surged in her heart. She still liked to be praised by Lu Shengyu, such a top handsome guy. Don't do this, Tsunere is out of date. Lu Shengyu flipped his hand, took out a water ball like a magic trick, put the water ball in Haruno Sakura's hand, and said, anyway, let's start the second stage, control the chakra to rotate and explode the water ball. Rotate. Haruno Sakura was puzzled. Just imagine it as a tornado, this practice is not that difficult. Lu Shengyu raised a finger, and light blue chakra emerged from the fingertips. Chakra rotated quickly like a small tornado. Okay. Haruno Sakura nodded, holding the water ball and concentrating on condensing chakra, imagining rotating chakra into a tornado. After the light blue chakra was injected into the water ball trembled slightly twice, but the complete calendar exploded the water ball. It's so hard. Haruno Sakura stuck out his tongue. Releasing chakra required all his energy, but while maintaining the released chakra, he had to control the chakra to rotate quickly. Is this something a human can do? Yagyu-sensei actually said it wasn't that hard. He said it too casually. Haruno Sakura glanced at Dasna and said worriedly, Yagyu-sensei, we are still on a mission. Is it really okay to be so lax? Team 7 is all concentrating on training, and Yagyu-sensei is still very casual. What if they really encounter an enemy? Yagyu Tsuki waved his hand and said casually, it's okay. If we really encounter any danger, we will use the stinky old man as bait, and then use our willpower to escape with all our strength. Haruno Sakura complained speechlessly, as this what a guard should say. Use your willpower to escape. You're so surprised that you said that. Dasna's mouth twitched slightly. Alas, I really want to change to a Jōnin who is capable and reliable, that is, Ikizuki is not that reliable and has a bad attitude. Lu Shengyu slapped Haruno Sakura's drum, revealed a nasty smile, and whispered in Haruno Sakura's ear, since you are so talented, the second stage will still be 3 days. I am looking forward to taking the back door. It feels good and is small and exquisite. Damn pervert. Haruno Sakura felt the severe pain of the drum, and his fair face flushed, staring at Lu Shengyu with shame and anger. B******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* You only know about backdoors every day. Are you a backdoor maniac? It's rare that you completed the initial stage within 3 days and successfully escaped the fate of being backdoored, but you have to complete the second stage within 3 days. Yagyu teacher knows how to take advantage of me every day. Is it because Yagyu teacher is lustful? Or, Yagyu likes me, Likes girls like me. Oh my god. This Addy makes sense. Why doesn't Yagyu teacher take advantage of others, but teases me every day? He must like my type. But, what should I do? Haruno Sakura blushed, raised her head and shyly looked at Yagyu Tsuki, and then secretly glanced at Sasuke in the distance. Yagyu teacher is very handsome, but the cold Sasuke is also very lecherous. What to do? It's so hard to choose. Yagyu Tsuki patted Haruno Sakura on the shoulder and said in a teaching tone, I know I'm handsome, but don't let your imagination run wild. I took advantage of you because you're the only woman here. Mistaking fish for love will hurt you. This brat's mind is so easy to understand. Taking advantage is completely out of boredom. It's been too long since I've felt passionate. It's uncomfortable to have power but nowhere to show off, so I have to find another level of passion. If you miss the opportunity, you're AB********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Alas, Sakura-chan is too fickle. Uzumaki Naruto sighed. Damn it, I envy Yagyu-sensei so much. I envy Yagyu-sensei every day. Who's imagining nonsense? Haruno Sakura's fair face flushed with embarrassment when her inner thoughts were seen through. She ran over and punched Uzumaki Naruto in anger. Bang! Uzumaki Naruto was knocked to the ground, holding his abdomen in severe pain and twitching like an earthworm, and yelled speechlessly, "Why am I the one being beaten?" Yagyu-sensei spanked Sakura-chan's butt, and it was he, Uzumaki Naruto, who was being beaten. Why? How abominable. Stop. Yagasuki paused, glanced around calmly, and finally stopped at the huge lake next to him. There is no need to rush to the Kingdom of Waves. Let's practice here for a day. Although it is during the mission, the purpose of the mission is to train the tool man. If the mission affects the progress of practice, it will be a bit against the sky. Besides, now that they have 95 points, the 7th team will soon break through. The sign in reward after the upgrade is worth looking forward to. Are there enemies? The faces of the 7th team changed slightly. Everyone pulled out the kunai at the same time and guarded Dasna in the middle vigilantly. Enemy. Dasna's face was ugly, and a panic gradually rose in his heart. He had been ready to die a long time ago. The reason why he was afraid of death was that he still had an unfinished dream. No matter what, the bridge must be completed before death, so that everyone in the Kingdom of Waves can live a happy life, and at least let the young children have enough food. No matter how difficult it is, no matter how embarrassed it is, the bridge must be built before death, because it is a bridge to dreams. There is a lake. Yagyu Tsuki pointed at the light blue lake. Lake. Everyone in Team 7 was confused, even Dasna was confused. Lake. What's wrong with the lake? Yagyu-sensei, I didn't expect you to notice it too. I've already noticed that there's something wrong with that lake. The enemy must be in the lake. Uzumaki Naruto threw a kunai into the lake, then pulled out another kunai and looked at the lake surface with vigilance, and stole a few glances at Haruno Sakura during the process. Sakura, are you watching? Naruto, I'm very smart. Now it's my turn to shine. The enemy is in the lake. Uchiha Sasuke and Haruno Sakura looked at the large lake in front of them without any ripples. Could it be that the enemy is really hiding in the lake? Strange. Very strange. Uchiha Sasuke said coldly, "Super idiot, the enemy can't judge our route, how could they just lurk in the lake?" What did you say? Uzumaki Naruto felt ridiculed, and his fox-like face showed anger, staring at Uchiha Sasuke angrily. It's rare for me to shine in front of Sakura-chan. Sasuke, this arrogant guy, is so annoying. Enemy. I guess so. Hard work is the biggest enemy. Yagyu Tsukishiro put his hands together, and then slapped them heavily on the ground. Wood-style 4-pillar house. Boom boom. Cracks appeared on the ground, and countless python-like vines rose from the ground, all vines intertwined to form a villa. Yagyu Tsuki patted the dust on his palms, looked at the magnificent villa in front of him, and nodded with satisfaction. You have to live in a villa when you go out on a mission. Awesome. Everyone in Team 7 looked at the super large villa in front of them in shock. Normally, when ninjas go out of the village to perform missions, they will light a fire and sleep for a night. Is it really okay for us to live in the villa? Let's stay here for one night. We can use the lake over there for training. Yagyu put his arm around Haruno Sakura's shoulders, looked at Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke, and said with a mocking smile, "Of course, only Pingshong can use the lake now, after all, you are still in the first stage." Uchiha Sasuke's face sank. A hash appeared on Uzumaki Naruto's forehead. No rebuttal. Yagyu lazily lay on the sofa, glanced at Uzumaki Naruto lightly, and said, "In addition, it is worth mentioning that, using clones to practice will have miraculous effects." What do you mean? Uzumaki Naruto was puzzled. Yagyu said, "You split one first." What? Weird. Uzumaki Naruto split a shadow clone. Yagyu Tsuki pointed at Naruto's real body and said, "Run away." Damn, what are you going to do? Uzumaki Naruto complained as he ran away quickly. When he ran to the lake, he turned around and looked at Yagyu Tsuki speechlessly. Everyone in the audience was confused. They didn't understand what Yagyu Tsuki was going to do. Yagyu Tsuki sat up and whispered in the ear of Uzumaki Naruto's clone, covering his mouth with his hand, Haruno Sakura is a violent girl. Huh. Naruto's clone was confused. Yagyu Tsuki looked at Naruto at the lake in the distance and shouted, okay, cancel the clone and come to my side. It's inexplicable. Uzumaki Naruto cancelled Shadow Clone and ran quickly to Yagyu Tsuki. Yagyu Tsuki said, tell me loudly what you just heard. Quote. Naruto Uzumaki had a speechless expression on his face, recalling what Yagyu Tsuki had just said, and shouted loudly, Haruno Sakura is a flat bear violent girl. Yagyu Tsuki explained, see, this is the so-called miraculous effect. Everything the clone sees, hears, and knows can be transmitted back to the real body's brain. Well, I understand. Naruto Uzumaki pinched his chin, wrinkled his fox-like face, and nodded thoughtfully. To be honest, he really didn't understand it. It's ridiculously stupid. Yagyu Tsuki scratched his white hair in annoyance, and said speechlessly, it means that practicing with Shadow Clone at the same time can increase the speed of practice. The more Shadow Clones there are, the faster it can be increased. It's easy to understand this way, right? Oh, I understand. Uzumaki Naruto knocked his fist on his palm, showing an expression of sudden enlightenment, and said, it means that using Shadow Clone to practice can quickly become stronger, right? Yagyu Tsukishiro replied, yes, that's right. Using Shadow Clone to practice is almost a well-known trick, but few people can do it. Although using Shadow Clone to practice is like cheating, it also consumes chakra at a speed several times faster. You may not feel anything during the Shadow Clone period, but the moment you release the Shadow Clone, all the consumption will be multiplied and returned to the real body. Excessive consumption of chakra will kill people. But Nine Tails Kid is fine. This kid has the bloodline of the Uzumaki clan and has the most chakra among the 3 people in Team 7. He also has 9 tails, a power bank. Uchiha Sasuke gritted his teeth and looked at the excited Uzumaki Naruto, clenched his fist and dropped it heavily on the ground. Damn Naruto. After teacher Yagyu taught Naruto the trick of Shadow Clone, Naruto's training speed will definitely increase significantly. This super idiot is likely to surpass me and become the second person in Team 7 to complete the preliminary stage. Damn Shadow Clone. Naruto. Haruno Sakura's face was terribly gloomy, and his whole body seemed to be burning with rage as he walked towards Naruto. Sakura-chan. Uzumaki Naruto turned around suddenly and looked at the infinitely approaching Haruno Sakura in panic. What did you say about me just now? Haruno Sakura clenched his white fist, and the bones made a creaking sound, which made Uzumaki Naruto feel desperate. How dare you say that I am a violent girl? Naruto is really looking for death. Sakura-chan, listen to me, that was just Yagyu teacher Ah. But why wait until tomorrow to set off? Although it is a good thing to let us concentrate on training for one day and complete the training urgently, there is no need to rush it, right? After all, Mr. Yagyu is a Jōnin, so he must have some plan for this arrangement. Uchiha Sasuke paused and glanced at the light blue lake next to him. Could it be that the reason why we didn't encounter the enemy along the way may be because we were too vigilant and the enemy had no chance to attack? Then Mr. Yagyu specially arranged for us to practice here for a day and spend a night. The purpose is to create opportunities for the enemy and lure out those enemies hiding in the dark. Haha. It turned out to be like this. It really deserves to be Mr. Yagyu, who can consider so many things. Uchiha Sasuke put his hands in his pockets, turned back and looked at Lu Shengyu coldly, and said arrogantly and confidently, Teacher Lu Sheng, I understand everything. Lu Shengyu looked at the intimate paradise and responded lazily and casually, really? Work hard. Understand. What does Uchiha kid understand? This stinky kid must be misunderstanding something. Whatever, as long as the tool man can work hard to get points, it's a good thing. Time passed slowly. Early in the morning. Ding. Gained 10 growth points, and the current growth value is 100 points. The level of the 7th team has been upgraded to bronze. Current points. Bronze 5 points. It is now early in the morning, and the sign-in has begun. Gained field skills. Infinite space. Is anyone subscribing?